Okay. Let's see if I can adjust some of this. Okay. Should be fine. Okay, it's better. Okay, so welcome to our practice run for BA. Now, before we get started, there's a couple of things I need to handle as always. So the first things first is while we are trying to get everyone here, okay, or get everyone accounted for those who are in the parties, right? Because obviously I can only type one into my party. So I usually just try to get everyone into the VC first. So if you're in your own party, can you just help me to type out to your party, ask them, can you all join the VC? Explanations will be done through the VC today. So I would prefer that everyone hops into the VC lah. Now, having said this, if there's anybody who is unable to hop onto the VC, okay, for whatever reasons, okay, maybe they don't have a headset, or their headset not working, and they don't want to channel the audio into the speakers or something like that, right? That's fine. Okay, I've had cases in the past where people for certain reasons are unable to join VC. It's acceptable. Okay, I don't insist on it, but they need to inform the party that they cannot join the VC, or they are not on the VC. Okay, this is to prevent cases where I say, okay, let's start at this timing, or no, okay, this instance is closed, we are re-instancing. So I will give instruction through the voice communications, but then if they are not on the VC, they will miss out on this information, okay, this communication. So you need to type it out to them so that they are aware that there's some instruction being disseminated to everyone. Okay, so try to get everyone into the VC. Obviously, most of you should have realized by now, but it's not mandatory to speak on the VC. However, I will actually, it's actually okay to do so, provided that we are not like in the middle of a fight. It's okay to just chat on the VC as well, because I generally am quite relaxed about the BA runs lah. Okay, we don't. It's not like a tutorial session, then I'm teaching things or something like that. It's just gonna show you how to do BA. Okay, I'll run through all the basic information that you will probably be required to know as you do BA in the future as well. Okay, and then hopefully we just try to see all the mechanics go from start to finish. And if things go well, we can even clear. Okay, fingers crossed. Okay, but I cannot guarantee clears, just to let you all know. Okay, I can never guarantee clears for BA. Actually, Valista joining, yeah, that's funny, strange.
Yeah,
Because he's...
Alicia's already made the party.
No, I know. But
Like,
he's in the DRS run later. How does he do both? But yeah, okay lah, it's okay. Then
what time is
he's at
he's not getting a rest? Unlike any rest.
so our run is
Oh,
from,
mouth.
okay, for my time, right? Our run is 10 to 12. Okay, it's 10 onwards now. Okay, I won't say it's until 12. It's 10 onwards. The DRS run is 1, so it's 3 hours from... Yeah, 3 hours from when we start our BA. So it's very cramped. It's very rushed for him. So hopefully I'll try to rush it. I'll rush the run a bit. And then, hey, UDC, how you doing? Stop DCing.
Oh yeah, I didn't. If you were listening or reading the chat, you'd know I have to relog.
Oh, okay,
There's
okay.
like super lag or something.
Yeah,
You're robotic.
that's you. No, it's you.
It's Germany.
Yeah, you're robotic.
Am I there legit?
It's better now, lah. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I switched nodes. So it should be
Okay.
fine. Hopefully.
Yeah,
It's not
hopefully.
like I don't know the fight. I can cheese it if I want to.
I know, right? Okay, okay, let's do like okay, it's about 13 minutes before we zone in. So I'm gonna just do a cursory ping on those players who are not here. Okay, team 2 all here, very good. Thank you very much. We are waiting for 1 player on team 1 and 2 players on team 4, and then team 3 needs to update their attendance. Yeah, so just to let you guys know, this spreadsheet I use to check attendance is also to account for people who are present or not. Okay, I know like
Yeah.
there's a lot of things going on, and it's like some people ask me why need to do this, why need to do that, why you need to be why do you need to make it so troublesome. But this is just to account for like people not showing up, and then later on someone asks, hey, why I sign up, I put myself on the team but no one wait for me, things like that lah. So I know this mark of attendance to account for everyone. Now, okay, once again, gentle reminder for everyone to hop onto the VC if they haven't. You never type. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's okay lah. You know, a couple of things to explain before we get started. So I will try to keep this brief. Okay, so once again, welcome everyone to the learning run for February. Okay, this is for elemental. Okay, and there's a couple of things that I need to cover before we get started. Now, according to my clock, it's about 49, X49. So in about 11 minutes, we will zone in, no later than 11 minutes. Okay, I try to zone in on time lah. So regardless of whether everyone's here or not by that time, right, we will zone in. Okay, anyone who isn't present or not or isn't accounted for by that time, um, it's unfortunate, but we will just be going on without them. Okay, now one thing I want to mention is that for BA, we don't have to have everyone present to do BA. So basically, right, what this means is that if there are some people who cannot be found, okay, no, usually the usual problems are they didn't change their name on the Discord, so we cannot ping them. Okay, usually if they are not present by this time, I will just drop them a cursory ping. I'll ping on the Discord, say, we are running BA, are you coming? Things like that lah. But if they don't change their name or we can't find them or they're not online, then it's unfortunate, but I'm not going to chase them to join. Okay, unlike certain other content, okay, I do also help to host or run some of the DRS runs here on Elemental. Okay, that one, if you don't throw up, that party will be missing one, critical role. So usually they will chase people to join or find someone to replace. But here for BA, we don't have such rules. Okay, if people don't show up or they don't turn up, we will just go on without them lah. Okay, because BA is actually very flexible. You don't need a 1, 2, 5. Okay, 1 tank, 2 healer, 5 DPS party comp. Okay, the comps are not even fixed, to be honest. You can have no healers in a party. You can have very little tanks, like only 2 or 3 tanks in the entire alliance, and you can still clear BA. You can still do BA by flexing the roles using the logograms system. Okay, the logograms action system can flex roles. DPS can play as healers, tanks can be as healers as well. Okay, some DPS can even tank, etc., etc. So you can flex the roles. So we don't insist on having all the roles accounted for. Okay, so this is with regards to attendance for BA.
Just wanted to say, like, if you're super new, like this is your first run, and everything like that, don't be pressured into doing DPS actions until like after or when we get to AoE after rooms. So plate bearer is your friend. I've got a couple of new people in our party, so
Actually, today's run is surprisingly quite crowded. Okay, so
yeah.
there's a lot of people who signed up for today's run, so which is nice to see, which is great. But there's also quite a number of new players now. Okay, let me just try to cover all of this. Okay, so we're just waiting for a few more players. Now, before we zone in, okay, it's about 8 minutes before we will, no later than 8 minutes before we zone in. Now, there's a couple of things to check that you have with you before we zone in. Now, first and foremost is that you should have your gear. Okay, now for new players, the only piece of Eureka gear that you can have is the Osode, Kirin's Osode, or Vermilion Cloak. Okay, these two items will give you an elemental bonus stat. And is Beast. Okay, Beast is the best in slot for the body piece. For the casters with the Vermilion Cloak, it's also the Beast, for the headpiece as well. Okay, because it's a cloak, it takes up the body and the helmet slot. So it's best in slot for both the helmets and the body piece. If you have got it, okay, either through purchasing from the market board or exchanging the cloth and seals, which you also purchase from the market board or given to you by someone else. Okay, if you have those, that is beast. You should have, to be honest, you should have gotten it at the very start of your Yurikan journey from Animals onwards because it helps you all the way through from the very beginning. Okay, if you have read some guides or people have given you some advice, they might have told you get the Kirin Osode or Vermilion Cloak because it is the best in slot for everything. Okay, for the entirety of Eureka. Okay, so you should have that. Other than that, all the other gear doesn't help. Okay, as in it doesn't do anything. You will want to have high item level, so eye level 300 and above. It will just sink down. Okay, the stats will just sink down. So it doesn't matter whether using eye level 590 or 620 or even 350, it doesn't matter because the stats will sink down. Okay, so just make sure all your slots are filled. That's the best you can get for gear until you start doing some BA. Okay, now once you do BA, you'll start to get those fragments, okay, which we'll cover later on, but you can start to exchange those for the other elemental gear, okay, elemental +2 gear, and or the Physios weapon, okay, which will give you additional elemental stat. Okay, for BA and Eureka, to be honest, elemental stat or elemental bonus is king. Any elemental stat on any piece of gear will automatically be the best kind of gear you can get. Okay, and for other than the body and body helmet for the cloak and Osode, gloves, legs and feet, elemental +2 is beast. Okay, there's nothing else that beats that type of gear. Okay, so if you have the veterans will have most of this gear, but for new players, it's impossible for you to get those. Note that elemental +1 gear doesn't do anything as well. It doesn't have elemental stat. It is technically speaking worse than your eye level 590, 620 gear. Use the high eye level gear instead is actually better because stat wise when they sink down it's max stats for everything, but if you're using the eye level like 300 something, right, it will be lower stats lah. Okay, now other things than this, if you have Cassie's earrings or Blitz ring, it's what we call a side grade. Okay, it's not an upgrade, it's a side or lateral upgrade. It's okay lah. It's if you have it, you want to use it, is fine. It gives you haste. If you don't have it, it's fine as well. Okay, I do know that those two pieces are quite expensive, and a lot of fully geared players will be using those. It is technically a small improvement in your performance, but totally not necessary. Okay, now other than that, bring your logos actions, okay, your logograms. You should have prepared them prior to today's run, but later once we zone in, we have a few minutes, a few minutes for start before we start the run. Okay, now Nia has helpfully zoned in earlier, like 1 hour earlier, just to monitor the instance. So we know that Ovni will spawn about 8 minutes after we zone in about 4 minutes time lah. So about 12 minutes from now, Ovni will spawn. So we need to get everything prepared by that time. Okay, so thanks Nia for helping us to monitor the instance. Okay, last few things to bring. Okay, so logos actions. Okay, later on when we zone to the instance, you will have some time to prepare your logos actions as well. So don't fret about it too much. Once you zone in, you can spend some time at the logo thingamajig and make your logos actions. Okay, now last thing here is food. Okay, bring some food, any kind of food, usually whatever suited for your class. Okay, the eye level doesn't really matter because from what I calculated prior to in the past, okay, eye level 430 and above food is just max stats lah. You can't get anything more than that. Okay, so any food, yeah, pudding, carrot pudding, shakshuka. Personally, I use espresso, things like that. All of these work. Okay, all of these work. Any food helps, but just bring something lah, because it will actually work inside BA. Okay, so that's it for the preparations. We're gonna do a ready check.
Yeah, like everyone's here except for one healer, so that's
Our
great.
party also. Our party missing one person.
Oh, hold on.
Where's the Rutora?
Oh yeah, no, that's the one person that's not here.
Oh, you said healer.
Yeah.
You said healer, but it's okay lah.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I think I combined because Ballista's team just lost a healer. So
Yeah, no worries.
anyway, yeah, Dorotora.
Okay, anyway, you ping them and they didn't respond, so it's fine lah. We'll
Yeah.
not wait for them. Okay, so for everybody else, once you already check everyone's okay, uh, we will. Okay, my party is waiting for one person. Okay, and then for everybody
Me.
else, all the other parties, y'all can zone in. Okay, y'all can just do ready checks. Everyone says they are ready. Okay, just click into the hide the toss. Okay, you don't need to be at Pier 1 in your own world, by the way. If not, the party leader cannot zone in. Okay, you need to be either in Pier 1 or the Kugani zone to go into the Hydatos.
Dude, why do you look like a tin can here as well?
Yeah, tin can everywhere.
Mm-mm.
Let's see, I need to change
Okay.
some of my settings. Okay, once you zone in,
Wait.
spend
Okay.
some time to form your logos, actions. Can you just do another ray check for me? Thanks. I need to
Okay.
change my
Yep.
keybinds for a bit.
Okay. We good. And
Thanks.
just stop party finder and
Yep.
we go.
Okay lah. So we are gonna zone in. And okay, now usually shit, one of my party members don't meet the requirements for the duty.
What? Oh, okay. Just make sure everybody's here in Kugane before you, because we need you here in Kugane. So please come back.
Ah,
I don't know who it is.
I still don't
Well,
know.
I know. So Wayne and Dante are fine because they're just Way. Let's see. Okay.
Okay, now okay, Kelly, just help me resolve this lah. Okay,
Yeah.
for those who are inside the zone, okay, spend some time to form up your logos actions. Now, one thing I want to mention here is that you should have at least three. Okay, you will have a minimum of three trays, the logos action trays, and you can have up to 6 if you have followed the readme guide. You will have stated that you can have up to 6 actions by farming the bunnies lah. Okay, the bunny fates. The okay, I'll pass you leader as well, so you can help me
Yeah, I
do
was about
this.
to say, just pass me. Yeah.
Okay. Now one of the things that you should do, right, is in your trays, one of them should be a blank slot or have a single spirit of the remembered action in it. Okay, just a single one. Now the reason for this is because later once we zone into BA, the first thing that you will use is to actually crack open that spirit and use it, but only when you are inside BA. Okay, only once you're inside BA. If you use it outside of BA and then you die, you will lose it. Okay, so just be careful about that. Don't use the spirit early. Okay, now once you zone in, we are just waiting for Ovni, and there's a few things that you need to take note of prior to the Ovni spawning. Okay, so I'm going to cover this right now. There's 3 things that you need to check before you go into before you start BA. Okay, number 1, you must be elemental level 60. If you are not, then you cannot enter BA. Simple as that. Okay, so make sure you are EL 60. If you have died by accident and released, you have lost a level. Please double check. Okay, I've had cases in the past where people de-leveled and then they didn't re-level up again. So please check your EL 60. Number 2, you need to have finished the quest line in Hydatos and unlocked BA. If you haven't finished the very last quest in Hydatos, then you will not be able to enter. Okay, so check your minimap. Okay, make sure in the town, the NPCs, all the quests have been cleared. If you have done it properly, there'll be a message asking you to accept the agreement they'll tell you that, you know, you have now unlocked BA is difficult, blah, 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 blah. Okay, just make sure you have seen that one. Okay, again, I've had cases in the past where people didn't finish that quest, and then they go through the process, and then later they realize, oh, I cannot go inside BA. Why? And then I'll tell them, are you EL 60? Are you elemental level 60? Number 2, do you finish the quest? And oh, I didn't. There's a quest there. Yeah, that's the reason. So please double check this as well. Okay, now the number 3, the third thing is later when Ovni spawns, everyone needs to participate in the Ovni fate and get a gold contribution rating. Okay, so everyone needs to hit the Ovni later on and get gold credit. Now this is easily done in a party. So usually if you form up in a party prior to of a BA starting, right, you will very easily get gold credit. Okay, especially if your party has like 5 or more players, 4 to 5 and up. Okay, just hit it a few times, you will get gold normally because it's a party effort. So you need to get gold for the fate later on. And now this is very important. And you cannot run away from the fate zone before Ovni dies. Okay, at the point when Ovni dies, what happens is that there will be a check. Okay, so like a checkpoint. If you are not inside the fate area when Ovni dies, you will not be able to enter BA. So please do not run off from the fate area when we are fighting Ovni. Okay, you can run away from Ovni. The fate area is quite big. Okay, the fate area is quite large. So you can run away from Ovni to avoid mechanics and things like that. But don't run too far away. If you go too far away and then Ovni dies, right, you will not be able to enter BA. Okay, I made this mistake myself before also. Okay, I run off to try to get someone to quickly reach Ovni, and then Ovni suddenly died, and then it's like, I'm too far away. I didn't get the ability to enter BA. Okay, but they are not training run, not practice run. I'm just doing BA for fun. So it's okay. Okay, so these 3 things you need to check. Okay, now just so you know why does that happen, it's because later after Ovni dies, there will be this thing known as Portal Wars. Now, Portal Wars is half the battle for clearing BA. Okay, what I consider as half the battle. The first hurdle that you will face when getting into BA, to do clear BA, right, is actually getting into BA itself. Now, for Elemental, today, this morning, we have about 62 people.
Yeah.
So, not too bad, but there's only 48 slots to enter. Okay, so we'll be fighting within these 60 plus people to get the 48 slots to enter BA. Now later on, okay, now in our Discord, okay, the lounge channel, I'm gonna post a picture of the map. Okay, this map, now while we are waiting, you can go and take a look. Okay, where's my portal map? Okay, the portal map's here. Okay, so this picture, you can go take a look at it now. And later, once Ovni dies, the map will show you all 48 portal spots on the map. What happens is that once Ovni dies, you need to mount up, run off, and sit on one of the portal spots. Okay, any of the portal spots to ensure that okay, not ensure. So you sit on one of the portal spots, right, to wait for the portal to appear. Do note that the portals do not appear immediately. They appear 4 minutes after Ovni is dead. Okay, so once Ovni dies, you will get a buff. It's 10 minutes long. Straight away, it immediately ticks down to 9 minutes. At about the 6-minute mark, means 4 minutes after Ovni dies, the blue portals will appear. Now, do not touch the blue portals. Very important. Do not touch the blue portals. Blue portals is for priority entry only. In other words, if you touch the blue portals, if you have a etheric stabilizer, okay, what we call a stab for short. Okay, if you have etheric stabilizer, you will immediately consume the stabilizer. It will be used up, and you will zone into BA immediately. There will not be any prop. Okay, this has happened many times before in both practice runs, learning runs, and even normal runs. Okay, people didn't intend to use it, but they just touch the portal, they click on it for fun, and then they accidentally use the step and go in. And sometimes like there's no BA being run at all, and then they waste the step. Okay, the steps are not free. You need to farm them with crystals. Okay, I won't go into detail on this, but if you're interested in doing more BA in future, okay, you can go ask in the Discord or go find out how to farm steps, okay, or stabilizers. Okay, but for this run, we do not use steps at all. Okay, I'll explain why. Now, for portals, okay, once you sit on a portal spot, you camp on it. Okay, 4 minutes later, after Ovni is dead, blue portals appear. Okay, after the blue portals appear, you wait for it another 3 more minutes after that. All the blue portals will disappear. And 48 minus the number of stabbed portals, red portals will appear. Okay, so let's say 3 portals were stabbed. 45 red portals will appear and they will reshuffle their positions. Okay, they will not be at the exact same spots. They will reshuffle their positions. This means that if you are sitting on a blue portal and three players will not get any red portal because someone stepped a portal somewhere else in the map. This is the reason why we don't step for practice runs, because if someone steps a portal, somebody else is affected. So you are shirking the responsibility of getting the portal to somebody else. But for our practice runs, because we are bringing like 30, 40 people, okay, we are bringing, officially we are fielding 30 people, okay? But to be honest, I know that there's a lot of other players who join the instance to help us with the runs. Okay, I'll address this later on. Okay, so we are actually going to affect someone else in our run. So we just don't step at all. Okay, it's either everyone steps or no one steps for our practice runs. And I'm not going to make like 30 plus people farm for steps for a practice run, no less. Okay, practice runs is the worst time to step, to be honest. Number one is it's gonna take like 2 hours for me to do from start to finish because I talk a lot. Okay. Number two, it's a practice run. There's a lot of new players, so the chances of clearing is supposedly is lower lah. Okay, supposedly the chances of clearing is low because there's a lot of new players. Okay, although again we have a lot of veterans in our instance, in our practice runs who join us to try and help us to clear and support our runs. So actually they have been increasing the clear rate significantly for a lot of these practice runs. Okay, thanks and appreciation goes out to all these veterans. Okay, they are the usual BA addicts, the people who always do BA. They know of these practice runs that I host every month, and then they just come along to support and help. Thanks very much to these guys. Okay, now okay, last few things to mention with regards to portals. Now, once you've seen a red portal has appeared and you click into it and you get into VA, okay, congrats. That's half the battle. 50% of VA is actually getting into VA. So congrats. Do note that okay, once you get into VA, okay, I will explain what to do once you zone in. Okay, but gentle reminder once again, just make sure you have a single spare Spirit of the Remembered tray or a blank tray. There will be a logos thingamajig inside. Okay, there will be a logos machine inside BA itself at the start. Okay, so you can form logos actions once we start BA, but once we actually start the run, you cannot use the logos manipulator anymore. So you need to prepare everything before we get started. So later you go in and you realize, hey, I don't have spirit, or I don't have enough things to make the spirit. I'm sorry, but once we start, there's no chance already. Kelly, the Rotora is here in our instance. See, you can pick him up.
Oh,
Yeah, he just shouted. Just see, you can pick him up. Thanks. Okay. Okay, so that's it with regards to the BA entry process lah. Okay, now with regards to the portals, okay, now this is one thing I want to address, but we only filled 32 spots lah. Okay, now we are 31 now because we've just picked up one of the missing players, so we are 31 players. Do note that for BA runs, portals are free for all. There's no rules on who gets to take portals. Okay, Kelly, just try to get him to the VC also. He's not a VC also. Okay, so for portals, we cannot actually tell people, hey, this is our practice run. Please don't take the portals. We never do that. Okay, I never allow that to happen in our practice runs. BA, for Elemental at least, is always an open instance. Anybody can join, even the practice runs. We will never tell people like, oh, you cannot join this run. This is sign up only. Things like that. Okay. However, because of this, there's a chance that people might crash the runs. I intentionally filled 16 empty slots. So we are bringing at the most 32 players. out of a possible 48, there will be 16 spare slots for public players, okay, park runs, park who want to crash our runs. There'll be slots for spare play or close position.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
Okay, we will wait a bit. Okay, do not rezone first. We will wait a little bit. Okay, normally I would like to give it about another 5 minutes lah, and then we will rezone. Okay, we wait now 5 minutes, because even if let's say it's a new instance, right, we rezone now, it will still take about 20 minutes for the Ovni to spawn. So we have about 15 minutes to 10 minutes buffer time before the next Ovni. Okay, so we just wait a bit,
Yeah,
because
some of my party have re-instanced.
okay, then never mind. They
check the
will
new one.
stay in the new instance lah. Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Because last time there was this one run where the instance closed, right, and then we wait a bit some people went out to check, right, and then Ovni spawn, and then we did it in the closed instance. So I want to just avoid that from happening again. Okay, now for those who left already, okay, never mind. You just go to a new instance. Likely we'll move to the new instance, but for those who haven't left, just stay here first. Okay, just stay here first, just in case.
Oh no, my party is a pug party, so
okay, then
they just need to check.
then that's
Yeah,
fine. That's fine.
Just to check. Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you. Okay, Ken. Okay, so with regards to portals, there will be 16 spare slots now. Pucks can join. A lot of these portals will be taken by what's that, Godama? A lot of the spare portals will be taken by veterans. Okay, so like all these familiar faces that you see in the instance still, people like BVD. Actually BVD got signed out. Never. No,
What?
nothing. No, I was just thinking like, BVD is on the VC, but then I didn't see her name on the sign out list. So yeah.
No, I have a couple of friends who are signed up for the run,
that's fine.
so I'm
that's
just
fine.
here.
No, I understand. I was thinking like, why I didn't see your name. It's like that's
Yeah.
why I didn't call on you for to help out. But then it's like, but VVD's here. Okay, so yeah, this VVD, say hi VVD. She's like one of the regulars on the BA runs. Used to host the runs as well.
Hello.
So yeah, so some people like BVD, okay, a few other people Sinon, Dix all the usual regular faces you will see if you do enough VA eventually. Okay, they actually join our runs, but they don't sign up. So what happens is that they will actually come in, help players out, do Ovni things, find the ferry, spawn NMs, things like this. And then later, once the portals are up, they will usually hang back a bit and wait for the new players to get in first. So once again, today's run is mainly targeted for the new players. So it's mostly for the new players to get their feet wet, go in. Okay, I know, hide the doors, get your feet wet, ha ha ha. And then it's to go in and just experience BA lah. Okay, again, I cannot guarantee clears. Okay, I'll explain why later once we get to Osma and AV lah. Okay, it's impossible to guarantee. Okay, you cannot say 100% clear. Okay, but we can try to make it as high as possible by preparing for it, giving callouts, things like that, okay, and explaining all the mechanics. Okay, so we'll try our best lah. Okay, now so they are here to help us with the runs, and what they'll do is they'll hold back a bit, and then they'll not take a portal until like most of the new players have gotten in. Okay, and then if there are spare portals that's left over, okay, like maybe like 1 minute left on the clock or 30 seconds left on the clock, and then they're sitting in front of a spare portal and no one's taking it, they might just grab it and come in for runs and just help us with the run as well. Okay, they usually these veterans usually do quite a lot for the run. They'll do the perception duty, they'll help to look out for healers and DPS, okay, etc. Okay, and then they'll actually help to carry the DPS in the run as well. So again, we thank them. They are actually assisting a lot for our runs. Okay, so later on, if okay, now since we're gonna have to reinstance, this is gonna take a bit of time. So yeah, okay, apologies lah, but this does happen every so often. Okay, now with regards to SE's instancing, we can't control it. Okay, we cannot control the instancing issues. So we will just re-instance in about, I think, 2 minutes lah. Okay, so maybe after we kill this Goldema, we wait about 2 minutes more, and then if Ovni doesn't show up here, we will just re-instance. Okay, we will rezone after this. Okay, but
Ovni can't show up in closed instances though, so we have to leave.
Yeah. This is the logic behind it lah. Okay, this is the logic why we are re-instancing. Okay, if the instance closes, we will need to move to a new instance because Ovni doesn't show up in a closed instance. Okay, by right. Okay, this is the general rule of thumb. Again, I had one instance before when the instance closed and Ovni spawn. Hence, why I'm still
Yeah.
loitering around in this instance. Okay, for those who are wondering, wait, why is Shark saying to stay here? The instance has already closed. Most of us understand that if it's a closed instance, Ovni doesn't spawn. But I have seen it happen once before in a learning
we have
run.
seen it happen
Yeah.
before. So there should be enough BA eligible people in the new instance to start triggering that Ovni timer. So even if we zone in 5 to 10 minutes after the new instance shows up, we will still make it for the Ovni. So like Shark said, there's a lot of veterans that are sort of showing up. So those guys are already parked in the new instance to trigger that timer. Yeah.
So once again, this also exemplifies why communications is important in our runs. If people see someone shout close instance and then they all leave, then I tell them, then I tell you guys like, hey, we are staying here, and then Ovni pops up. Then those guys who left lose out. So do just hang back a bit. Try to wait for instructions. It's a bit chaotic. Okay, SE's instancing cannot be controlled. We had a lot of cases where in the past we do learning runs and then we go in the instance and then the instance closes and we go to new instance and then we wait for like 10-20 minutes, then that instance closes as well. And then the run gets delayed.
Three back-to-back close instances is just
Yeah,
oh my God.
like waste a lot of time. So
Okay, I think we should go.
yeah. Okay, like it's 19 already, so we are gonna rezone. So as expected. Okay, so officially we're gonna shout close instance. Let's move. Okay, we're gonna move to a new instance. Okay, so everyone, let's just move to a new instance. Okay, rezone, and then just zone into do a ready check and then zone into a new instance.
Yeah. For those who join the party in instance, go into the new instance and we can pick you up. Just like shout.
Okay. Okay, fingers crossed this instance should work lah. Okay, fingers crossed this instance should work, and then we don't waste too much time. Okay, this will delay the run by another 20 minutes, unfortunately. Okay, which is why I mean, okay, in the first place I can't control the instancing. But what I can do is I can control another 10 minutes, correct? Yeah, Dix mentioned, because it was already on for 10 minutes. But I can control the speed of the run, so I'll try to speed up things lah. Okay, I'll try to speed up things. So maybe I can start to explain like what to do or expect later once the run actually starts.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, we just wait, make sure everyone enters the instance. Okay, so everyone just should join the new instance. If any of you, for whatever reason, you zone into an instance and you're like in another instance, please let us know immediately. That means some other thing messed up. Yeah.
Yep. The tree was set up so nicely. Sad.
Yeah, SE's instancing is like really messy. It's really messed up. Sometimes, like instance close and then we go new instance and then after the old instance open and then people start to filter into the old instance. It's very messy. There's like no real rules on how the instancing works. And we don't really understand. The only like fixed rules is that if the instance is full, no one can get in and a new instance will be made. And the other rule is that if no one's in an instance and it stays and it's there for like maybe like a few minutes, not even a few minutes, I think like less than 30 seconds, it will just delete itself and then a new instance will be created when people try to zone in. Okay, although sometimes I've seen it before that people zone into the same instance again.
Yeah, it's very finicky. You can't pinpoint.
Okay, so now again we're in the new instance. So once more, just hang around. Okay, since it's new instance, some of you might want to go spawn NMs and things like that. Please go ahead and do so. Okay, now I will just start to save a bit of time. I'll start to explain some of the mechanics for, okay, not mechanics, but some of the things to expect for our run today. Now, later once we zone into BA, okay, this is only for those who manage to get in. Okay, now touch wood. Hopefully everyone gets in. Okay, again, I do apologize, but I cannot guarantee that people get into the instance for BA because again, Hydatos is an open instance, so there may be like park players. Some players will just take portals thinking that we are running BA here, they want to just join us in our run, which is fine. It's acceptable. Just that you need to try your best to get a portal and get in later on. Now inside BA, I think most of you should already know this, but if you die in BA, you cannot get raised. Okay, you cannot get raised normally. So a lot of you should have heard about this before. Okay, your friends who have cleared BA will have told you about it. So we cannot raise people normally in BA. This means that death is punishing. Okay, it costs. There's only 3 ways. Is it 3? No, 2 ways. 2 ways you can raise people inside BA. Okay, the main number one method that we use, right, is actually healer sacrifice L. Okay, sacrifice L is a skill, a logos action that healers will use, which will raise a dead player, but kill the healer. Okay, the healer will get a doom debuff that is 10 seconds long, and after the time runs out, they will die. Okay, so this is okay, actually there's 3. The Spirit of the Remember is one of them. Okay, but there's 2 ways to raise other players. Okay, Spirit of the Remember will raise yourself. Okay, so healer sacrifice L is one method. The second method is healer LB3. So healer LB3 actually works in BA, but only in boss fights, because only in boss fights you can get LB3. However, having said this, it's very unlikely that we'll see it because of how well geared players are nowadays. We will usually kill the bosses before we even get LB3. So it's kind of difficult. Okay, and the LB meter will drain to 0 when we start the boss fight. So you can't like build two LB2 and then fight the boss, build one more LB to get LB3. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so we need to build LB3 inside the fight itself, and that's usually impossible. Okay, so don't rely on healer LB3 too much. Mainly healer sacrifice, and because of this restriction, the number one way to save yourself is Spirit of the Remembered. Every time you die in BA, if you have Spirit of the Remembered on, it will trigger to try to res you at 70%. Okay, although 70% is more like 50-50. Yeah. Okay, when it's important to get res, it doesn't work. When it's not important to get res, it will always work. Okay, so it's like 70%. Okay, so officially it's 70%. If it works, you will immediately get up and continue fighting. So, there's no pop-up message asking you, do you want to take the rest or something like that? No, you just immediately get up. Okay, so take note of this. Okay, now, even if you don't get up, okay, let's say it fail, 30%, okay, you buy a rabbit brand Spirit of the Remembered, 30% chance to fail, then you will stay dead. Later on, someone will rest you. Okay, someone will pick you up with Sacrifice L. Okay, do note, Sacrifice L is expensive. Okay, please don't take it for granted. The healers are actually spending gil to raise dead players. So now for the learning runs, it's very encouraging to see that a lot of the players actually freely sacrifice for the new players. So the veterans will sacrifice for new players just to get them to at least see the last boss. No, at least we will carry as many people as we can all the way to the final boss. Okay, the final boss is a bit special because later I'll explain why, but it's a bit more difficult to raise players after the final boss. Okay, simply because you won't be there anymore. If you die in the last boss, right, you won't be there after a while. Okay, so just note that we can only carry you as far as to the last boss, then you need to do your best for the last boss. Okay, so do appreciate the healers who are carrying sacrifice, spending gil to bring sacrifice L to try and raise the new players. Okay, a lot of thanks and appreciation goes out to them. Now on the flip side, this does mean that if you ever go for BA runs, public BA runs or park runs as I call them, and people decide to leave you there, right, don't get salty, please. Okay, please don't get salty about it. Don't shout like, hey, raise please, please raise me. It's not free for the healer and you're not paying them. So please understand that if you ever join BA runs and people don't raise you or they just leave you there, leave you dead, okay, don't be too salty about it. It's not entitled. Okay, you're not entitled to a raise. Usually there'll be nice people who will raise you, but again, don't be too salty if you don't. Okay?
That being said, we're gonna raise you in this run.
Yeah, this run we will
Like-
try our best to raise as many people as we can.
Yeah.
Especially if you are new and you're inside our run that you signed up, or you are in our VC and you said you're a new player, we will try to get you as far as we can. Okay, again, dependent on the resources we have. If we die, if too many people die, we may run out of sacrifice. Then in which case, no choice. Then we have no choice. Okay, then we have to make a decision to either call the run or we just push forward as fast as we can. Yeah, with whoever we have left lah. It hasn't happened that often. It doesn't happen a lot, but there have been cases in the past where like a lot of people die, like 10 or 12 people are dead, and then we like, okay, it's time to do a resource check and then see how many res we have, raise all the healers first so that those healers can raise the other players, etc, etc. So we will try to adjust lah. Okay, we'll try to make do with what we have.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, so this is with regards to raising dead players lah. Okay, or raising. Okay, now other than that what else I need to cover? Okay, later on for the first boss fight okay, once we zone into BA itself, okay, I know I'm sort of explaining in advance lah, because normally what I'll do is I'll wait for us to fight Ovni, then when we wait for the portals, we get in, then I'll start to explain. Okay, but since we're just waiting here and to save time, because we already wasted 20 minutes for the instance closing, I will try to explain some of the initial first boss things to look out for, as well as some basic knowledge that you need to have inside BA. Okay, so later once we zone to BA, I will say it again later on, but once you zone in, okay, if you get in, congrats, you've crossed the first hurdle, which is portal walls, and then you'll be on a platform, there'll be a cutscene, and a very important thing to note is at the very start, don't fall off that platform. Okay, the platform is quite large, okay, you won't like accidentally step off it, but do note that there's a raised platform. You start on the raised platform, and if you fall off that platform, okay, and it's very obvious because there'll be like there's like a gate, and then there's a step, and then if you fall off that step, you can't jump back up because it's a relatively high step. If you fall off, you cannot get back up. So do not fall off the platform at the start. Okay, the starting platform has a bunch of things to be done. First and foremost is that you will crack open the Spirit of the Remembered at the start and use it. Okay, so remember what I said about having a single Spirit of the Remembered? That single Spirit of the Remembered is to be used at the start after you enter BA. Okay, again, you don't use it before entering BA, because if you die outside here, you will lose it. So use it only after entering into BA. Okay, do note, if you die, you will lose your spirit no matter what. Okay, even if it doesn't work, you still lose it. If it works, obviously it has been consumed, it has been used up. But if it doesn't work, you will still lose the spirit. So you will need spare Spirit of the Remembered as you die. Every time you fight a boss, okay, you make a mistake, you die, spirit procs. Okay, lag a bit, you die, spirit procs. You get back up, but you need to crack a new one and use it immediately, so that if you die again, you have another spirit to cover you. Okay, the reason for this is actually like very obvious because inside there, healer cannot raise you except for sacrifice, right? Now, I didn't mention this earlier on, but sacrifice, how does the sacrifice work? The healer dies, right? So what happens to the healer? The healer's Spirit of the Remembered will proc or trigger and raise them. If it doesn't trigger, then that healer stays dead and another healer will sacrifice them. And that healer's spirit will trigger. If it triggers, nice, we have raised someone. If it doesn't trigger, then the first healer who died will try to sacrifice the dead healer with their own spirit up again. And then we will just keep sacrificing each other. This is what we call a chain sacrifice. Okay, a chain res. Yeah, I know I need to entertain people. I see. Y'all don't point it out like that, No,
Is it closed again?
No, we're joking.
Some people are just saying that I
not joking, but
Shark has been sermoning for 30 minutes. And I was like, Shark has been playing a recording for 30 minutes. What are you talking about?
That's it.
don't tell them my secrets. No, it's a running meme that people, that some of the regulars will say that I talk a lot. During my learning runs, I will just keep explaining things and keep talking and sermoning. They use the term sermoning because there's a lot of information to explain, and I like to try to get everyone as well briefed as possible. So if you find me very boring and you want to just like fall asleep, right, just go ahead. It's okay.
Just mute him. Just
lower the volume down.
Listen to some music. Yeah. I'm wondering, if this instance is gonna cuck us.
I hope not lah. I hope not. If it happens, okay.
Yeah.
Now, just to let you guys know, right? If this instance closes and
We're gonna eat.
we need to go to a new instance, right? Then we will need to
Yeah.
I will only do this 3 times. Okay, on the
Yeah.
third rezone, on our third try, means 1 hour after the actual start time. If it closes again, I will no longer proceed with the run. Okay, just to let you guys know, I will only try this 3 times. Means once I've dragged it out for 1 hour and 30 minutes, I will scrap the run. Okay, because I cannot
You can't control it. It's like it's literally RNG.
yeah, I mean, as in I can't control the instance, of course, so this is fine. But because the run is supposed to be taking at the most 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. But if we start 1.5 hours late, right, then it will be 3.5 hours. So at that point of time, I will scrap the run. Okay, just to let y'all know first, because I don't want to like people coming to run and expect to spend only about 2 to 3 hours for the run and then find that I've taken 4 hours for the run, which is not very responsible for me. So just to let y'all know lah. But hopefully we won't face the issue.
Yeah. Can someone check
I
if they can
I
go
think
out and
tense.
come back in?
People already reinstanced and
We're
didn't
already
come
in
back.
the new
Yeah.
instance,
I
yeah.
see.
We're gonna have to go out and come in again.
Okay, again we will try to. Okay, let's see how many people are left inside here.
Mm.
About 50 plus lah. Okay, we will try to again wait about another 5 minutes because again, even if we zone out now, we still have to wait about 15 to 20 minutes for the new Ovni to spawn in the new instance. So we're gonna wait a bit lah. We're gonna wait a bit. Okay, maybe give it another 5 minutes. So by
Ovni shy.
X40 on the clock, right, we will rezone. Okay, so another 5 minutes. This is like the second time this is happening. Last time there was one instant. Actually no, this third time. There was one time where we did the whole waiting, and then after that I was like, okay guys, we cancelling. And then there was another time where we did the waiting, and then on the third try we got it. And then we went ahead with the run then. But we wasted like close to 45 to an hour for that run. It's unfortunate lah, but the instance issues plague us all the time.
Yep. It's Ella's fault. It's Ella's fault.
Ella's fault? Why is it
Yeah.
Ella's fault?
Because it's always Ella's fault.
I see.
He said he was gonna come and then he didn't, or he doesn't
He
come.
always says that we didn't okay.
No bojo.
Yeah, for those Singaporeans
Yeah.
and Malaysians, we have one friend who always say bojo. Then when we chill, he never joins us. See lah, Ella.
Exactly.
Every time chill, the time we chill, you
Bojo.
never come.
Joe also never
Yeah,
come.
Jill also never
Aiyo.
Lol. Oh, there's so many S ranks popping.
S rank not important. I even skip.
Not important for you. You have them.
Yeah lah.
I do not.
I skip them.
I have 66 left to go
It's okay lah.
before my
Very fast one.
achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since these ones have a chance to be SS, so it's like double whammy.
Let's see.
Yeah.
It's okay lah. Never mind. You wouldn't be awake anyway. You wouldn't be online anyway if you weren't here for the B run.
Let's see. I'd be in Hogwarts.
Exactly. Sus.
Yeah. No, I just found out, right? You can use the Avada Kedavra curse on the teachers in Hogwarts and you get sent to Azkaban.
Yeah.
Like, I totally want to do that. I'm going to do that on my Hufflepuff one
Suspicious.
that I'm going to make of. I'm going to be like a dark wizard as a Hufflepuff and go
Suspicious.
Avada Kedavra everything.
I ask about
They
it.
literally like... Sorry? Yeah, what?
That's basically me. Max a dark art as Hufflepuff.
Yes, I know,
Ironic.
right? It's so good.
Why you're like this?
Became the ironic Hufflepuff.
You can choose evil or, it's like you can be good, or you can be sort of good and sort of bad. Then it can be really bad. It's like, and it's so much fun because the game accommodates that. So if you like kill a teacher or a student, people will evaporate around you and try and catch you.
I
Yeah,
see.
mainly You gotta fight your way out of Hogwarts and stuff. It's really
It's
fun.
like GTA, right? It's like GTA. The police will come after you.
Pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah. Like so much fun.
Suspicious. You see Ovni spawn.
It's here.
Yeah, you see
here.
lah.
Oh my god, it's here.
Yeah. So even close
Oh,
instance. Yeah. So those who zone out, unfortunately, I think you're gonna miss this one.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna do the teleport. Okay.
Okay, so those who are in this instance, right, we will not wait for another 20 minutes. Obviously, okay, this is quite obvious. We will be doing BA here because I'm not gonna make people go new instance and wait for another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so head over to the Ovni. We will start at, okay, I'm not gonna waste so much time. We'll start in about 3 minutes. So 11 on the clock. So pool time, 110. Okay, Ovni 1100 if you'll be so kind. Yeah, 49 people left in instance, but I think it's enough lah. It's enough. Again,
Yep.
Today's run is mostly to show you guys how to run BA. Here, oh, just nice 48. I see. Then no portal walls. Then even better. I hope now the new players left. Again, this is why the communication very important. Cause this.
It's just hands.
Yeah, just hands. Unfortunately. I don't know. Did Nia leave as well?
No, Nia was up there dancing with me.
Okay, thanks. That's good. Yeah, hopefully all those who signed up for the run, y'all are still here. Y'all didn't leave. But unfortunately, I think BBD dipped out to help check for the new instance. So thank you very much. But cannot get back into the old instance now.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
I wasn't signed up anyway.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Yep.
With the elemental, should we get them before or after we do Ovni?
Okay, that's a good question. Now for today's session, right? Because we are in a locked instance and there's exactly 48 of us, we can get it after Ovni because everyone's guaranteed a portal. But for normal runs, you will want to get it before Ovni because the moment Ovni dies, you want to run off to a portal. So that's the main difference. The difference is whether you are guaranteed a portal or not. If you are not guaranteed a portal, then you have no time to go grab fairies after Ovni is dead. So it must be before. But if you are guaranteed a portal, then you can get it after Ovni is dead. That's how we deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Pretty close, so we can just like all go over and then go out portals. Yeah.
Conversely, if you guys ever like do BA in like other data centers, materia, materia, they will always take the ferry after Ovni because there's hardly 48 players there because there are instances. Player count is lower. So it's every run is like red. No one needs to step ever. So it's great lah. Then now I send everyone go make odds to do BA there. Send
so if you ever see like people hovering around in elemental, it's because they're just gonna stand there until Ovni shows up and then they all run and grab the buff and then go to Ovni.
I think that's how we deal with fairy buffs in elemental when we're gonna do BA. So if we know that BA is we're gonna do BA next, what they do is they wait for the fairy first, find a fairy, wait around it. Once the Ovni comes up, Ovni appears, someone says a pull time or something, or if there's no pull time, they'll just grab the buff, straight away run over to Ovni and get started from there lah. So yeah, so those who taken the buff already, it's okay lah. To be honest, the buff is just an additional boost of HP restoration and a little bit of damage up. The damage up is good, but honestly speaking, it doesn't make or break the run. So don't worry about it too much. Okay, we're gonna start now. Let's go. Okay, 11 minutes on the fate time.
What the fuck?
Just eat it, man. Just eat. Yeah, it's okay. Kelly always like to eat the rock heart. Don't know why. Yeah, she always like takes the rock heart. I see.
Oh my god, do not be sus here.
No, this is the same joke I cracked right in the practice video. Literally, if those of you who watched the practice video, Kelly literally like did the same thing in that video. So yeah.
I'm not paying
So-
attention, okay?
So confirm Shark is just playing a recording.
Shh, don't tell
Yeah.
everyone.
Oh my god.
Okay, do remember. Okay, so for Ovni, right, just fight it normally. Don't worry about dealing damage too much. We will generally be okay. But you need to stay in the fade zone. Okay, don't run off too far. If you see the person with the lightning marker, remember move away from them. If it appears later on. Okay, so somebody's gotten the lightning. So the lightning person usually runs away lah. And then everyone else
Oh, yeah.
give them a big space. If you see people running to the lightning player, right, they are doing their own thing. So don't follow them. Okay, you pulse 3 times and kill anyone standing around them. Okay, I think that's pretty much it lah. Just fight Ovni as per normal. If you die, just get rezzed. And then after that, now once Ovni dies, do mount up and run off to a portal. Okay, now again, because we are now in a closed instance, everyone's guaranteed a portal. Just to let you guys know, for my practice runs, I usually take the portal directly to the left of Ovni, so just maybe don't take that one. Okay, as the organizer, I will try to secure my own entry, because if I don't get in, it's
Asserting
Okay.
dominance so early on.
Huh? What's that?
Go and get in so I can like grab the ferry and go.
Oh, you're going for ferry? Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah, so for those of you who want to, I just who haven't, okay, those of you who haven't gotten the ferry, you can come over to where the ferry is. Okay, I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't. No, it's the last charge already. Last.
yeah, it's a last charge. Hurry.
Okay.
It will take a little bit of time, but it should be fine.
Yeah. So just to let you guys know, because it's a closed instance and there's exactly 48 people who can do BA here, everyone will get in. So there's no worry about portal walls anymore, which is to some extent is lucky for the learning run, because everyone gets in.
Get out. Get out of my car. Get out.
Bye.
Get out.
Oh, you kicked me out.
But at the same time, we won't have a extra view from support desk.
That's true
Yeah, we'll have
lah.
to come out and then go back
We'll
in.
have to
Yeah,
have 7 people leave.
we need to arrange that also. Okay lah, later we'll arrange it later. We'll send like 4 or 5 people out to deal with it lah, and then they can come back in.
Yeah, that's easy.
Ooh, no one at my spot. Yeah.
I mean, there's 48 people. There shouldn't be anyone else.
But I was actually pretty concerned that I was gonna have to run around, but that's okay.
You have Dix in your instances outside, so
Dix is outside,
help.
but Dix is in.
listen, Dix is not signed up. To
Oh
the
no
round.
lah, like I said, 48, right? So
Right.
anyone else who wants to come in can just come in, and they can leave. They can exit later on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you can do the main thing, and I help with handling support.
Yeah. Can thanks.
Yeah.
That'll be very helpful.
Yeah. Can also yeet a healer too if they need to refresh their sacrifices.
Yeah. We can.
Yep.
We can deal with that later lah. Don't worry about it. Yeah. I will explain support later when we get there lah. I don't want to overload people with too
Easy.
much information right now, because they won't be able to retain it anyway. Yeah, just
45 minutes later.
just so you guys know, I'm like a IRL trainer, so that's why I do this. Yeah, but that's also why everybody falls asleep at my sessions, because that's what I do in real life also.
Maybe all your training always fall asleep.
Yeah, sometimes some people like I will see them, then the head keep like lolling, and it's like want to sleep. Some people will be like that, because the material I teach is very dry. It's super duper dry. It's like office productivity software. So it's damn
Time to
boring.
make it spicy, I guess.
It's super duper boring. Like, even I also feel like falling asleep sometimes. No, I'm the trainer, I wouldn't. But it's really quite dry lah, the material. Especially if the people sign up who are at my class, right, they already know this stuff that they are learning, and it's like the company send them for like retraining or something, right? But they already know most of it already, so it's like damn boring, wasting time. But it's okay lah. Okay, now blue portals are up. Do not touch the blue portals, especially now. There's absolutely no reason to waste a step on this, so please do not touch them. Having said this, sometimes I see people step also for no reason. We've
I was gonna say.
okay, so since we got time and since we're in a closed instance, just to let you guys know, right, a very common question people ask is, so when should I step? The answer is actually there's no fixed yes or no, like there's no fixed criteria, no, must step this run, don't step that run, no. The answer is always wait and see. So usually what we do is, at the start, right, we check how many people are in the instance. If there's like 120 people in the instance, it's gonna be a step fest, as in everybody's gonna step. Okay, but if there's like 70, 60 people in the instance, then very likely no need to stab. If people start stabbing, you will need to make the decision whether you want to stab. Okay, like if there's like 100 people in the instance and we all wait and see first. If like 5 people stab, and then another 8 more people stab, and then 20 people stab, and then 25 people stab, then you start to realize, oh, there's a chance that you might not get in already. Then if you're still sitting in front of a blue portal, you stab. This is how I tell people whether to stab or not. It is not a fixed yes or no. If nobody stabs, then you should definitely not stab, because it's going to just waste your stab. That it just means that there's going to be free portals for everyone. Okay, assuming that you're sitting at a portal spot. In very crowded instances, where there's like 100 plus people, you may not even be able to find a portal spot. In which case, if you want to stab, it is your right to stab. Okay, in a very crowded instance, if someone is sitting on a portal but they are not stabbing it, you can stab it. Okay, this just simply boils down to, are you willing to dedicate the step to do BA, as well as not everybody has time to wait for the next BA to run it. So if you cannot wait for the next BA and you have a step, you have the right to step a pub run, okay, a public run. So this is how I answer that question. Okay, most people ask me like, when should I step? What's the rationale behind it? This is basically it. Okay, and actually BBD has a nice pin post on when should I step. Okay, if you ever forget, go check our Discord. There's a pin post there. BBD will tell you all this. What's the criteria, when you should step, what you should look out for, things like this. So this addresses the stabbing issue. Okay, but for this instance, there's no reason to stab at all. Please do not touch the blue portals. Now, in about a minute or so, the portals will turn red. Do note that the red portals the blue portals will disappear and the red portal will appear in the nearby vicinity. Okay, you'll be nearby. Don't tunnel onto the red portal. Just rotate your camera around, find it. Once you see it, just right click on it, and then you will enter into PA. Okay, everyone here should get in, no problem. In fact, I feel that it won't be a full 48 run. I think there'll be a few less.
Yeah, red portals.
Red's up, so just click onto the red portal, get in. Okay, and welcome to BA. Okay, now, as I mentioned earlier on, okay, welcome to BA. New players, there'll be a cutscene. You will be watching that cutscene. Once you get started, don't step off the platform. Okay, don't step off this platform. There'll be a Magia Melder and a Logos Manipulator at the front. And this is where you crack your Spirit of the Remembered. Use it. Okay, don't forget to use it. Sometimes people forget to activate it. Use the Logos Manipulator to replace that used spirit with something else. Okay, so this is what we always do at the start. Okay, just so you know, the single spirit that you are using, right, should be made out of the 3 component pieces: Aether Weaver, Martialist, Blade Bearer. Okay, please don't be using single Spirit of the Remembered for the single one. Those are damn expensive. Okay, just so you know, okay, but I'm pretty sure some people have done it before. Okay, just be very careful. Just note that there's multiple ways to make the single Spirit of the Remembered. You should be using the 3 component pieces to make it. It's cheap. This is why we can always guarantee a single spirit use at the start of BA. Okay, now subsequently, once you have done that, you will replace the tray with something else. Okay, now for those new players who are very afraid of like dying, you don't want to trouble or rely on the healers to rest you. Ideally, we, as a safety precaution, I always tell people, if you want, no one can fault you for bringing more spirit. Okay, to be fair, the recommended in the guides, okay, if you've seen our Discord guides, we actually have this picture of what you should bring as a new player, right? It's filled with spirit. There's like 6 of them. I'll be very honest, right? You will never use that many. You will not die. If you are dying that many times, right, you probably need to just like get a bit better at the game. It shouldn't really be dying too many times. This content is not difficult per se. It's just that it's punishing. If you die, you can't get res. So that's the issue with the BA. But other than that, it's not that difficult. Okay, so spend some time to make the Spirit of the Remembered, and then use another tray to replace that consumed tray. Okay, you can even carry a spare spirit with one on you already, so that if you die, you can immediately use the new one. Okay, but everyone should have a spirit. Don't start without any spirit at all. That's not good. Okay, spirit is to keep you alive and to make sure that healers don't waste sacrifice on you. Okay, your spirit is dirt cheap. I think less than 2,000 gil. the sacrifice L tray is somewhere in the vicinity of 100 to 150,000. So it's really not worth it to waste sacrifices unnecessarily. Okay, so everyone should form spirit. Parties help me to check. Kelly just help me to get those guys sorted out as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
I am.
and Kelly is also going to, okay, now at the start, I will start my explanations here. Okay, hopefully everyone has entered. Those who cannot find portals, please just run around until you get on. But again, close instance, so everyone should get in. Okay, everyone who wants to come in should be able to get in. Now, the other thing to mention here at the start is that for the first pair of bosses, okay, now, first things first, on the right of the screen or wherever your Eureka timer is, there will be a Conquer the Baldesion Arsenal timer, which is currently hovering about 20 minutes. This timer will state our BA time. Okay, so this BA time is how much time we have left before we get kicked out of the instance. We need to go fast to beat this BA time. Okay, again, I will try to speed up the run today so that it doesn't take like 2 hours. But I will need to explain certain things now. So I'll try to do this quick at an expedited pace. Okay, so there's a 20-minute timer. I'll try to go faster a bit to try to beat that time. The time will extend every so often. So once we beat the first pair of bosses, it will time extension. Once we beat the second boss, there'll be another time extension. So every time we reach a checkpoint, it will time extension. Okay, a lot like Daytona, those old racing games. You cross the checkpoint, you get a time extension. Cross the next checkpoint, you get a time extension. Okay, so it'll be something like that. Now at the start, there'll be the first pair of bosses is called the twins. Now the twins have a very special, unique ability where if one of them has any health left, okay, one of them has any HP left, the other one doesn't die. So because of this, we need to split the alliance, okay, our 6 parties here, into an even split, usually 3-3. So you'll notice what the parties are doing is that each party leader will be yelling out something like, okay, for example, Galen, Melpor, 1, 2, 4, Art, MT, Perception, L, Circle. This means Galen's party, 1 tank, 2 healers, 4 DPS, so he has 7 players, is going...
No, sorry, 5.
See, some people
Five,
cannot
five.
math. I knew it. Yeah, I knew it the last time this happened. So Kelly's math
did
even better.
9.
She did 1, 2, 5. It's like 1 tank, 2 healer, 5. Is it 1, 2?
5 DPL.
Was it
No,
1,
I know. I went 225.
Oh, 2 to 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 tank, 2 healer, 5
Yeah.
DPS. There's like got 9 players. Amazing. One party has 9. No, but just try to. We all know that FF14 players cannot do math, so it's understandable. Yeah, it's perfectly understandable. So so okay. So
Yeah.
so for example, Cruxarius 114 healer. So their part. Okay, that's not a proper call. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Let me choose one that's properly done. Okay, so for example, okay, Galen 1, 2, 5 Art MT means that Galen's party 1 tank, 2 healers, 5 DPS is going to the Art side, and Galen will be main tanking Art. Perception L Circle means his party has a perception player in it. So at the start, we need to guarantee 2 things. Number 1, we split the parties into an even split. Okay, either a 3-3 split, or if there's less than 6 parties, 3-2 split, where the greater number of players will go to the Owain side. Now, Owain side is on the Mega Melder side. Okay, Owain side is on the Mega Melder side. Art side is on the Logos Manipulator side. Now, usually for parties, what we do here as well is we will place a waymark to show you where to drop off on. Okay, there will be a waymark. Only your party can see. Okay, inside BA, only your party can see signs and waymarks for your own party. Okay, so just assemble on the correct side, but don't drop off yet. We always wait until everything has been sorted before you drop off. Because why? Once you drop off on one of the sides, you cannot cross over to the other side. If your party drops off on the other side, you drop off on the wrong side, you're going to be isolated from your party with no heals. So be very careful not to fall off on the wrong side. Now, parties, once you have done all your things, okay, you use your spirit. Okay, Dante, you don't have spirit of the member. Please remember to use it. Just use it. Okay, just use the spirit, apply it on yourself, and then create a new tray, create a new logos action. Okay, you shouldn't be running BA without any spirit. It's not recommended. Okay, people will notice also that if you die, right, then you don't get res. Okay, now
Unless you're a Lish.
yeah, unless you are a pro player, okay, unless you know what you're doing.
Can we get somebody from a party here that isn't full pick up the last black mage and white mage? Oh no, summoner and white mage. Because they're shouting at the moment.
Okay, if
Please help.
there should be exactly 6 parties,
Mhm.
with one party, like a few parties will have left less than 8 lah, but there should not be any spare parties, spare players around. So
Yeah, 5 people didn't come in though.
yeah, no, I know. So there should be a three-man party, lor. A 3-man, no, 2-man party, 2-man.
Oh, it's
Right, yeah.
no.
So those 2 guys will be in their own party lah. They will have to form up as their own party. Just tell them to form up. Okay, can someone help me to just tell them they just pair up can already. They'll just be a 2-man party, and then they'll absorb the support party later on. Or something.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah.
They just have no party lah, because there's 8, 8, 8, 8, and then 2. So they will have to be by themselves. There's 42 people lah. Felista solo 2. Yeah, okay, y'all can help me sort it out lah. Okay, other than that, right, for the rest of the parties, okay, because it's down to 15 minutes, okay, we spent 5 minutes here already. So once the rest of the parties have verified that we are okay, so Kelly, once you let us know that, okay, all the parties have been sorted, we have perceptions on both sides.
We do. We're
Ready
done.
checks.
Like,
and then
Yep.
You just fall off on the correct side. Yeah, that was okay. And then we will go off as a group. Okay, so make sure your party is ready. You do ready check. Everyone's okay. Assemble on the correct side as a group. Fall off together. Okay, our party just taking a while to ready check. Okay, Owen, are you ready? Then we can get started.
Wait, stop talking. Stop typing.
Yeah, we're waiting for you to ready check. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Use chat.
we can get started lah. Okay, we can get started afterwards. I'll just get started lah. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so is this the correct side? Yes.
Yeah, what I mean.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
We always go outside, so I always suddenly get a bit confused. Okay.
You're the one that picked it.
Yeah, no, I know. Okay, now once we fall off, and then you have like 1 or 2 parties who have fallen off, and then you see the tank start pulling the demon wall, which is the first mob in this Baldesion Arsenal. You can start attacking it. Okay, start DPSing. Now for trash mobs in BA, very important. Don't ever pull enmity off the tank. Okay, because why? In BA, if you are new, ungeared, not a tank, not on defensive Magia, and you pull something and the monster attacks you, you can get one-shotted to death. Okay, they hit you once, you can die. So be very careful not to pull enmity by accident or face pull by accident as well. Okay, the tanks will try their best to pull the mobs carefully. Sometimes they'll be forced to pull 2 or more mobs at the same time because the mobs are tethered together. Okay, they come together as a pair or in a group of 3. Let the tank establish enmity first. Don't ever pull before the tank, and don't immediately start pulling when the tank hasn't established enmity. Okay, someone pull the frog, careful.
Yep.
Okay, now any spare tanks help to, okay, if you're not a main tank, oh nice. Okay, if you're not a main tank, you're a sub tank, but if you're not new, you can help to offload some of the main tank's burden. Okay, so if like the tank pulls like 2 mobs of different elements, you can help to tag the other mob and hold it for the main tank, because if they hold 2 different element mob, it's very difficult for them to get heals. Okay, now the Bibelosses at the top of the stairs have a very, very nasty frontal cleave attack and rear tail swipe attack. You do not want to be in front of them or behind them, and be very careful not to be standing with the main tank. If you're standing with the main tank, after the mob does the magic hammer, they will turn towards the main tank and cleave the main tank. If you're standing with the main tank at that point of time, you will get cleaved, and I've seen people instantly die from that as well. Okay, just be very careful. Okay, don't stand at the main tank. Don't stand at the main tank. Amelia, move away from the main tank. Yeah, don't stand at the main tank. After the stun, okay, after the hammer drops, he will turn towards the main tank and slash the main tank immediately. Even though it's facing sideways, this is what it does. Okay, I've seen it happen a lot of times. Okay, I understand that I say don't stand in front of it, and you're standing to the side of it where the main tank is, but it actually turns towards the main tank, which now becomes the front. Okay, now, once the parties have arrived at Art and Owen, okay, usually what happens is that
Shout.
yeah, shout.
Sorry.
Okay, usually what happens is that one of the players will be shouting. Okay, can you help me do that? will be shouting,
Yeah.
the site has arrived. Okay, like what Nia has just done. Okay, something like this. You say,
Thank you, Nia.
Owen, HP 100%. This tells the art site players that they have arrived. So we will need to, okay, for the Owen side party, we will need to wait for the art side players to arrive before we can start, because we cannot pull without the other side starting at the same time. Okay, now, art and Owen mechanics. Okay, we have about 10 minutes. Hopefully the art side people arrive soon, and then we will get started. Okay, but for the art and Owen, I will do brief explanations as well. Okay, so do explanation time. So explanation time. Now, for art, okay, for Owen side, okay, Owen's the easier side. There'll be fire, he'll be either fire or ice, and there'll be spears at the edge of the arena. There is also fire or ice. If he is fire, you go to an ice spear. If he is ice, you go to a fire spear. If you see a Dorito, okay, a triangle marker above your head, you will need to stack with the other players with the same triangle marker, except the players with the puddle AoE on their feet. Those players need to pull the AoE away from everybody else. Okay, this is Owen, and that's all the mechanics there is. If we see the hands and anything else, we messed up already. Okay, now art side is a bit more difficult. Art has donut or point blank AoEs, and the spears that he places will be doing donut or point blank as well. If he does art, if art does a donut, you need to run out of the donut, and then once the donut AoE display disappears, you run in to avoid the donut being fired from, avoid the point blank being fired from the spears. So if he does a point blank, you run out away from it, and then straight away run in to avoid the spear point blank. If he does a donut, you need to run in, and then once the spears appear, you need to run out to any of the 4 spears and stay in the center for the spears donut. There's no telegraph for the spears. Now also note that there's actually safe spots in between the point blank spears near the outer edge of the arena, and there are safe spots near the donut spears on the outer edge of the big donut. If you see some players going to those areas, you can follow them as well. Later on, the floor will flash. You will need to stop moving. Okay, when art side, okay, if someone can just say art, stop moving, art, stop moving, just stop moving. Don't move. Once the floor stops flashing, you can move and avoid the line AoEs. Okay, so that's it for the explanations. I won't spend too much time dallying around. So we'll start at ET191, okay, 1920 lah. Okay, ET1920. Okay, now we will pull at ET1920. If you have limit break LB2 at 1918, LB1 at 1919. Range or caster limit break only. Okay, just fire it off, because if you don't use it, it will be wasted. So anybody can just use it. Once you see other people starting to shoot it out, just use your own. If not, you'll be wasted. Okay, so get ready. LB2, LB1, and main tank establish. Okay, now the twins will open up with a tank buster and red wide. So just heal and shield through respectively. Okay, for this fight, I'll try to refrain from doing unnecessary callouts because there are 2 different sides. So just listen to the appropriate callouts. I will preface all callouts with either Art or Owen. Okay, for my side is Owen. Owen side go to fire. Okay, do note that for the Owen side, his Magia changes, his Magia rotates. So just be careful about that. Okay, Owen side is done. Owen side just rotate to defensive and stay alive. There's no need to do DPS anymore. Owen side go to ice.
Stop moving. Art.
Okay, Owen side triangle stack. AoE move away. Nice.
One person died to
Yeah,
the
there's
Doritos.
one death here. Okay, now
Death as well.
for dead players, just to let you guys know, if there are dead players, as a healer, the healer will shout out that they'll be using Sacrifice L on them to let other healers know that they are using Sacrifice. Now, up the stairs, there is a trap. Do not run ahead of the Perceptors. Let the Perception players go up first. Okay, these big, shiny, glowing circles are explosive traps. If you step in them, they will explode, killing you and anyone around the trap.
Yay!
Okay?
Success.
Now, up at the very top of the stairs, there's a big hallway with more traps in it. Hug the walls, go close to the side with the treasure coffer, and pick up the treasure coffer. Now, in BA, all treasure chests are personal. You should remember to grab your own treasure coffer. We're waiting for the... Okay, outside I saw
Are you main tank? Are you main
Yeah, I
tanking
will
this
main
or
tank. Hey, is Valista here?
the ballista is a tank?
Yeah,
so...
okay, then Valista can main tank. Thanks, Valista.
Oh,
Yeah, he got in.
Okay.
He got indulged anyway. This is... Yeah, it's just better for you to main tank so that I can focus on explanations. Thanks. Okay, now in the hallway here, okay, watch out for the sprite. Watch out for the sprite. Some of the mobs here, right, will aggro on things like you cast a spell near the sprites, right? They will aggro on you. So please don't cast spells near sprites. Valister will be pulling mobs near the center. So just go join him in the center and help to kill the mobs. Just being careful not to face pull or pull MET of him. In this hallway, there's another 4 bleed traps in a square pattern. So just avoid those traps, let the Perceptors scan for them, and help to dispatch the doll mob. Okay, the doll mob has been pulled. Now, certain mobs in BA have unique abilities. Like this doll over here, right, needs to be faced away from the group. Okay, notice that it will use a move called Terrifying Glance, which is a very, very large frontal gaze attack that if you are hit by it, you will get confused and start attacking other players. Okay, we want to avoid that from happening. So usually we try to dispatch the doll carefully. Okay, Valista has pulled the sprite. Like I mentioned earlier on, sprites in BA will aggro when you cast a spell near them. Okay, near is not really very near. It's quite large radius around them. So be very careful around sprites as well, especially the casters. Okay, and certain classes have spell abilities lah. Okay, like Paladin, the Holy Spirit are actually considered spells. Okay, Unmanned is considered a spell for Dark Knight. Okay, but tanks not so worried lah. Tanks you take enmity, you just tank it lah. Okay, you pull it, you tank it. Yeah. Okay, no, don't do that. That's toxic. Okay, other than that, right? Okay, we'll grab the Magus or Magai next, and then these 2 centaurs at the back are extremely... Okay, they are special and they are dangerous. Now, the centaurs have a special ability. They will use Berserk after 1 GCD, and if the Berserk cast is not interrupted, they gain a damage up buff. They will start to one-shot everybody. Okay, they'll start to one-shot whoever it hits. Now, healers will usually interrupt this Berserk cast with Sleep. Okay, why healers? Because they cannot be stunned or silenced, so must use Sleep. Okay, and there'll be one more centaur hiding behind the wall here. Okay, just let Valista dispatch it. Okay, and we will move up to the second boss in the Baldesion Arsenal, Raiden.
Is
Okay lah, I think Ballista you take over main tank lah. For
Okay.
wait. No, there's someone else we need to teach here. No. Okay, where's Little Lace? Where's Little Lace?
My party.
Yes. You are here, right? Little Lace can hear me, right? Someone said that you wanted to main tank today, and I sort of agreed that it's a learning run, right? So it's the best time to learn how to main tank. Are you okay with main tanking bosses?
Cool.
Okay.
Yes.
So Little Lace will be
Nice.
doing main tank for most of the fights today. So maybe you stand at the front and then we try to mark you out lah. Did we
I
pick?
need to be right back just a second.
Sure. Did we pick up everyone earlier on? Yes, right. Is everyone up? Okay, yes. Okay, very good. Nice. Okay, we're about 46. Let's see. 50. Okay, give me a second, sorry. 30. $42 players. Okay, yep. Okay, now, welcome to Raiden. Now, Raiden is a thunder aspected boss, so rotate your Magia to the correct element, which is Earth, to burn Raiden. Now, for the Raiden fight, there will be two main mechanics we need to look out for. Okay, two main mechanics we need to look out for. The first is called the lateral Zantetsuken. What happens is that Raiden will disappear from the arena. He will reappear on either the east or the west side. All of us will stack in the middle. Okay, all of us will stack in the middle and look for where Raiden appears on. Once we find him, we turn to face him. He will raise his sword on either his left or his right, and puddles will appear below some random players. Okay, puddles will appear below random players, but because all of us are stacked in the middle, a lot of puddles will appear in the center. Move out of the puddles and run to the safe side, where the safe side is the side his sword is not pointing on. Okay, one more time from the start. Raiden disappears. We run to the center and stack in the middle. Look for Raiden on either the east or the west. Watch his sword where it is pointing on. Puddles appear below everyone. Move out of the puddles and run to the safe side. The safe side is where Raiden's sword is not pointing on. Now, everybody will be going to that side. So if you find that you are running in one direction and everybody else is on the other side of the arena, you're gonna die. Okay, Raiden will shortly after Raiden will cleave the arena and kill everyone in the center and on the unsafe side. Okay, Raiden's sword cuts through everything. Okay, tank inbound, transcendence, okay, res immunity, cuts through everything. Please be on the safe side. Healers, if you see new players running off onto the wrong side, please rescue them to the safe side. Okay, but prioritize getting out of the puddles first. If you get hit by the puddle AoE, right, you will die. And then your spirit procs and Raiden cleaves you again and you die. Again. Okay, so please move out of the puddles first. This is lateral Zantetsuken. Okay, now, the second mechanic is called Cloud to Ground. Hopefully with good DPS, we will skip it, but I will explain it if we see it. Now, Cloud to Ground, there will be a single Exaflare. Now, Exaflare is, okay, what's an Exaflare? It's a AoE with an arrow in it. Okay, it's one of those traveling AoEs. We will look for the Exaflare. When it starts moving, we will stack at where it's spawned because that spot is safe. Shortly after that, Raiden casts Bitter Bumps, and a few things will be happening. Number one, there will be puddles below randomly selected players, but because we're all stacked at that safe spot, there will be a lot of puddles underneath. Run out of those puddles. Okay, pop sprint during that time. Move out of the puddles. Avoid all the other Exaflares that are still traveling across the arena. And Raiden will have used Bitter Barbs. Now, Bitter Barbs will tether some players together. Those two players will need to split the tether. Okay, those two players will need to break the tethers so that they don't die. Okay, if you stay tethered for a while, for too long, you'll start to take a heavy dot over time, okay, damage over time. Tick one time, half dead, tick again, both players die. So please split the tether, prioritize doing that. Now, after all of these mechanics, Raiden casts Whirling Zantetsuken. The safe spot is inside his hitbox. Be inside his hitbox. I will call this out as well. please come inside his hitbox. Okay, Raiden does Whirling Zantetsuken a couple of times in this fight. Each time you must be inside his hitbox to survive. Okay, so Little Lace, you'll be main tanking this. So remember to be on the defensive Mega stance. Is Tense inside here? No, right? Just to check, is Tense in here? He didn't make it, right? Okay, then we can't do the Zantetsuken test today. Okay, never mind, anyway, we'll do that for some other time. Okay, we're running out of time already. Okay, so Little Lace will be the main tank. Any questions, please ask now. If not, then we will ready up. Okay, we'll ready up. Okay, now, if you are ready, just step forward beyond the purple lines to let us know that you are ready. Okay, all parties just do a simple ready check. If anyone is not ready, you let us know. Okay, anyone is not ready, you just shout it out. Okay, but otherwise, we will assume everyone who is in front of the purple line is ready. Okay, all players should be here, and then we will just get ready to start. Okay, I'll start at 2400. Okay, no, 0000. Okay, ET 0000. Okay, which is actually 2400. Correct. Okay, we're starting at 2400 or ET 0000. Just listen for the callouts. Okay, try our best. Rotate to the correct Magia. Okay, use food if you haven't done so already. I keep forgetting. Okay, use food if you haven't done so. Food actually gives you a slight HP increase here and some stat increase. Okay, LB2 will be at 2358. LB1 is 2359. Again, range or caster LB only. Okay, Little Lace, you will start off by pulling the boss to the edge of the arena. Okay, but not all the way to the edge, just close to the one of the edges is fine. Okay, so ready up. We are going to start soon. Okay, listen to callouts, try our best. Generally speaking, we should be fine. Okay, so it's 2358 LB2, 2359 LB1, and main tank established. Slightly early, but it's okay lah. Okay, if you pull too early, then some people don't get to fire the limit break, but it's okay.
I have the laser.
Okay, now there will be a red white at the start, and then a tank buster shortly afterwards. Okay, keep everyone healed up and topped up. Tank buster. Now all the range and casters can start to run to maximum range. Range and casters can start to go to max range. Melees and tank, you get ready to run away from the boss. Okay, now everybody run out. Everybody run away from the boss. Okay, to where we are standing. Okay, a large AoE appears. He jumps back. Step inside his hitbox. Be inside his hitbox. This will one-shot you if you are standing outside. Okay, any of Raiden's sword attacks insta kills you. Now, this is lateral Zantetsuken. Step in the middle. Raiden's on the east. Look to Raiden. Avoid the puddles and run to the safe side. Okay, avoid puddles.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, you should avoid the puddles first before running to the safe side, just to let you all know lah. But it's okay. Okay, normally I just wait for the puddles to explode and then run to the safe side. Okay, now another red wide. Okay, now spread out lightly, spread out lightly, spread out. Don't overlap these AoEs. Okay, you can take one AoE, don't be in the middle of two of them. Okay, now this is a light DPS check. Light DPS check. Burn the spears. Yeah, it's okay, don't worry about it. Okay, now another red white and then get out of the bruise. Okay, the bruise is BBD's trademark. Okay, move out of the bruise. Okay, and shortly after this, we'll see Cloud to ground, but we will be able to commit. So we're going to commit and kill Raiden before it happens. So we're going to skip Cloud to ground. Nicer.
Kill him.
Okay, now there'll be a treasure coffer at the front here. It's a bit hard to see because everybody crowds around it. So just remember to grab the treasure coffer. Don't miss the treasure coffer now. If not, you'll get a bonus coffer later. Yeah, don't worry. Just remember, if you die, just use another Spirit of the Remembered. Yeah, you
Okay.
can see.
Yeah, I just saw.
Sure. Okay, never mind. Okay, now up here, right? This hall, there is one bleed trap somewhere in this hall, but because we can't see it, what the main tank usually does is they will pull the mobs to the entryway, and then allowing the perceptor to scan for the trap. Okay, so normally perception will scan near the entryway first to let the tank step into the hall, and then the tank will peel some of the mobs away, and then the perceptors can move in further to try to scan some more. Okay, so little lays, you'll be main tanking lah, so you just try to peel them one at a time. Me and Ballista and any other of the sub tanks, we will just back you up. Okay, if you accidentally pull something, we will try to cover you as well. Okay, but don't be afraid to just start pulling mobs. Okay, there'll be a doll in this hallway coming down the stairs. Be careful of the doll. Okay, it's coming down the stairs, so watch out for that doll. Perceptors, just be careful. We still haven't found the bleed trap. Where is it? I think it's near the okay, it's at the back there. Nice. Okay, we found the trap, so thank you very much, Perceptors. Okay, it must be dicks, I see. Yeah, he used sleep on the door, I know. Okay, just let Little Liz pull it first. Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, nice death. Yeah, if you see the mob suddenly die like this, right, it just means that someone's using Def L. Okay, Def L is something that's very useful to have, but not necessary. It's not mandatory, but if people def and it works, the mobs die instantly, saving a lot of time. Okay, now there'll be another trap here before the treasure coffer. There's another trap here before the treasure coffer. Let the perceptors do their job first. Don't run blindly into it. Okay, avoid the trap and grab the treasure coffer. Okay, now one thing I want to just gently remind people for traps, always try to give them a wide berth. Okay, give them a bit of space around it, because if someone accidentally steps in the trap, you will die also. Okay, so just be very careful. I think there'll be some players who will be using traps. So you might see some players who will step in traps on purpose. Usually they are the tanks who are using the traps for certain reasons. Okay, so even if you are a tank, unless you are using Indomitable, try not to pop traps recklessly or wantonly. Okay, don't just anyhow pop the traps. Other tanks using Indomitable will need those explosive traps for their Indomitable buff. Okay, I won't explain Indomitable, but the Indomitable buff here is something for slightly more advanced users. Okay, but if you're interested to find out more, you can just ask in the Discord. Okay, Dix is dying. Okay, I got it. Okay, so this hallway here is what we're doing.
It's in wind.
Huh? What's that?
Treasure is in wind.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Okay, so this hallway here, right, what's gonna happen is that we are gonna clear the hallway of all the trash mobs first. So basically the sprites and the walking armor. Okay, they call it logos lah, but it's confusing. So it's just a walking armor and a sprite. We just clear the trash in the hallway first. Now there'll be 6 rooms around the in this hallway, and if you notice carefully, right, each of the rooms has an associated element. So for example, right, the middle 2 rooms here, there's a green colored room, is the wind room. There's a purple colored room, is the thunder room. Okay, then there'll be ice, water rooms, fire and earth rooms as well, okay, on both of the ends. What we're gonna do here is gonna clear the trash in the hallway first. And then there's 2 things we need to find. Number 1, there's a visible treasure coffer. Now, Valista has already yelled out that the treasure coffer is in the wind room. So we're going to head over to the wind room first. The main tank will carefully peel the mobs out into the hallway because there are traps in the room. So main tank or Lace, just one by one peel the mobs into the hallway here, and everyone else will just dispatch the mobs. Now, one of the just be careful. Yeah, don't heal too quickly because there'll be at least 2 to 3 mobs per pool. So you will get aggro if you heal instantly. Okay, so we can see the treasure coffer in the wind room. So this is why we are killing the mobs in the wind room first. There will be one trap in the wind room and thunder rooms, 2 traps in the ice room and water room, and no traps in the fire room and earth room. There will also be one other thing that we need to find. There will be an invisible, okay, the wind room trap has been found, thank you. Okay, grab the treasure coffer in the corner. Okay, there's going to be an invisible teleporter in one of these 6 rooms, and we cannot see it. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to clear out the room to allow the perceptors to go in to scan the rooms for the teleporter. Okay, now usually the process is treasure coffer room first, then ice or water room next. Okay, the reason for this is simply because ice and water rooms have 2 traps each, and the tanks will need to use the traps. So usually we will clear ice and water afterwards. Okay, unless we found the teleporter in the wind room or in the treasure room, in which case then we don't need to clear any of the other rooms. Okay, but sometimes the tanks will ask for help to clear the rooms because they will need to use the traps for their own buffs. Okay, now be careful. Now everybody else, right, don't run into the room unless there's a reason to go in. Like you literally have no reason to go in and step on a trap. So let the perceptors clear the room. Okay, for everyone else, we can just maybe work on the water room next. Okay, never mind. Ice room has been found. Okay, the teleporter has been found in the ice room. Okay, so let's head over to the ice room. Okay, yeah, both traps have been found. So just be very careful. Okay, when the portal placement is like this, just be very, very careful. Yeah, just don't step on the trap, please. Everyone dies here if someone steps on it. Yeah. Okay, nice. Okay, another treasure coffer after the teleport. Remember to grab it as well. Okay, there's no trap here, and we're now gonna head down the stairwell. Another big hallway. Okay, another big hall with another bleed trap in it. More mobs to kill. Okay, and another set of 6 rooms. Okay, so same thing as before, nothing special here. Okay, Little Lace, you can go ahead and start to peel some of the mobs. Okay, Perceptors, scan the entry, so give the main tank a bit of space to step in. Okay, and then Little Lace will start to peel the mobs one at a time. Okay, just be careful, and for Perceptors in the future, just try to be careful not to be too enthusiastic about it. Here, the Rutora, you might want to just come back because the door is there. So just be very careful about it. Okay, for Perceptors, usually we recommend you play safe lah, as in you don't risk it until we clear the mobs. There's no real rush to scan for the traps. Even though time is a restriction, we have ample time, and dying is just obviously worse. So just be very careful about it. Okay, there'll be one bleed trap somewhere in here. Okay, we found it. It's near the entrance. So thank you very much, Perceptors. I think for those of you who are interested in doing perception duties, there's actually a resource on where to scan for traps. And honestly speaking, we sort of know where all the traps are. Like the traps won't be like in a random place that we never expected. It's always somewhere in this hall, somewhere in the room, up the stairs, just before the treasure box. It's always in one of these few places. So we sort of know where the traps are. We just need to scan for it in the general vicinity. Okay, now after we dispatch these mobs, the doll and the frog over there, all that's left is the hallway. There'll be 2 ghost mobs in the hall, and then there'll be another set of 6 rooms. Now these 6 rooms, we need to start to do some organization. What's going to happen is that at this point of time, the party leaders will start to yell out a room element. Okay, so again, we have ice, fire, water, wind, thunder, and earth. So parties will start to yell out. So for example, Kelly, 1, 2, 5, stone, which means 1 tank, 2 healers, 5 DPS will be taking the stone room. Okay, Gallant, 1, 2, 5, fire. So 1 tank, 2 healers, 5 DPS, fire room. Yeah.
We might need to split, right?
Yeah, we will adjust it later lah.
Yeah.
Don't worry. So,
Okay.
so what's going to happen is that after we clear this hallway, okay, clear the hallway first. Now, in each of these rooms, there will be a single button in the center and a trap in it. Okay, every single room for the second set of rooms has one trap. This trap will always be intersecting, okay, or overlapping the button in the center. So perceptors carefully enter the room, scan for the trap. If it's near the entrance, you should scan for it first. If it's not, then you can step in a bit more closer and then scan near the center of the room. It will always be on in the center of the room somewhere. Okay, and once we have scanned all the rooms for traps, we cleared the mobs in the center. We're going to split up into 6 parties. Now what's going to happen is that each party with at least 1 tank and ideally 1 healer will take 1 room each. All 6 rooms must be accounted for. In other words, all 6 rooms must have at least 1 person or more in it to handle the room. Now, once all 6 rooms are accounted for, and what happens is every room has a button in the center. If 1 player or more is standing in every button, the doors will close and 2 mobs will spawn in the room. In the party level, the players in each room must tank and spank the mobs. Okay, kill the mobs in your rooms and the doors will open. Once all 6 rooms mobs are killed, the main doors will open. Okay, the big door that leads us into the next area will open after we clear all the 6 rooms. Now, at the same time, in the Hydatos area outside, okay, in Hydatos, the support fate will spawn. Okay, so this is when the support fate happens. The players outside will need someone with Dispel L and ideally with Faint or Spirit of the Remembered on them. So to ensure that they don't miss, we need to ensure that the 4 guys outside have Dispel. Okay, because we are in a close instance. So
Mhm.
we need to
Yeah,
arrange that. So
I'm just trying to organize water.
Okay. Okay, so just give us some time while we do some organization here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we need to send people out.
I'll get water.
Thanks.
Thanks. Oh wait, that was yellow. Fuck.
6 tanks. We have exactly 6 tanks in here. Okay. Stone. Okay.
Yeah. My party, go to stain. Can one of our DPS go to water to support them?
I'll go.
Thanks.
Thank you. Do we have a spare tank? Or are we just good?
We got 6 exactly 6 tanks.
Okay, spare tank if you could go to water as well, please.
I'm on water.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Calista.
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay, so I think that's water is settled. Ice,
Yep.
thunder, wind, ice, fire, stone. Okay, so all the 6 rooms have people in them already. Very nice.
Yep.
Okay, and then we just need to ensure support can. Oh, Dix is outside. Okay, thanks, Dix.
Yeah.
Is he? Yes. Refresh. Okay lah. Dix, you just remember to try to get a party lah, so you can come back in later. Thanks. Okay.
Jello.
Then just ready check and we will get started. Okay, so the tanks in the rooms on your stances, turn on your tank stances, rotate your Magia to defensive stance on the room's element. Okay, later once, okay, I'm going to shout out a start time. So ET0615, okay, at 6:15, all the tank in each room will step in the button in the center and the doors will close. Now 2 mobs will spawn and you try your best to pull 1 at a time. Okay, you don't step on the trap.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay, so try to pull the mobs 1 at a time so that we can dispatch them. Now, if for whatever reason you accidentally pull the second mob, it's okay. Just healer, just try to keep the tank alive lah. Okay, you can tank 2 at a time as well. It should be okay, as long as you're on defensive. Okay, now it's 6:15 already, so everyone step in the button. Okay, the tanks step in the button. Okay, the tanks step in the button. And try to carefully pull one mob at a time. Okay, do note that sometimes the mob spawn and it will already be aggroed to either you or your party members. Please grab that mob first. Okay, don't immediately pull the other mob and then you realize, oh, your party pull one, you pull one. You now have to tank both of them. Okay, do note some of the mobs, the red and blue dolls have nasty AoEs. The blue dolls do a pizza slice, very, very large one. You need to be careful of that. And the red dolls do a donut AoE. You want to be either very near or very far from the donut. Okay, now last thing to mention here is that if you kill the mobs in your room and you run out to the front of the hallway and you reach the door first, you shout first. Yeah, like what Little Lace and Owen is doing. Okay lah, no lah, that's just for fun. Just see who is the first party to reach the...
Our door opened first. We even diff out that.
No. They have to touch the door. So if water...
That's not
It's-
fair there. Because
I know, right?
It was,
It's
it was
literally
never
not
fair.
fair.
It was never fair.
It was never fair.
I don't know who set the rules, but those are the rules.
It was Elisha. He did.
Is it?
He was...
I only remember
yeah.
BBD saying it once lah. Then from then on I realized,
Yeah.
oh, it must be touch the front door. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a pity if you get first on water.
Sus. I mean, sometimes even if
chest.
you are water and you can still get there first as well.
Yeah, if you have 2 deaths
Yes,
go off.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, now for those of you running through this hallway, if you see a treasure coffer here, right, it's the bonus chest. Okay, no lah, I'm just kidding. It just means you forget to take the Raiden coffer earlier on. If you see a chest here, please remember to grab it now. Okay, now we are going up the stairwell again. We are actually retracing our steps to the original set of 6 rooms. Okay, the first time I did this, I was a bit confused why there's so many rooms, but this is actually the original set of 6 rooms. But there'll be new mobs that spawn. Okay, there'll be some new mobs that spawn here. So, tanks, just be careful of your stances. If your stance is still on, you might want to be careful from accidentally pulling aggro, especially if you're not on Guardian or some sort of defensive wisdom. So just turn it off, let Little Lace and Ballista handle the mobs again. Okay, there'll be... now here in this hallway, right, there's 3 new mobs that we need to pay attention to. The first of them is the frog at the start here, okay, which we already killed apparently.
Yep.
The second and third is the book monster and the centaur. Now these mobs, nothing really special about them, but they have a tendency to wander around, as in they will walk around this hallway, and sometimes they will walk into the room as well. Okay, like look at this book here, it's like walking into the wall. Okay, no, it's good. Yeah, so sometimes they will walk into the rooms. So if we are missing a mob, okay, for example, now I cannot see the centaur, right? So where's the centaur? I don't know. So means that it has walked into one of the rooms. If you don't pay attention to this and they come out of the room behind the party, right, people start to die. So see, this sneaky centaur just came out from the water room.
He's in water,
You can
yeah.
see him coming out from the room. We went to like borrow a couple of books to read, and then suddenly we all steamroll him.
Yeah, we're taking too long because we won't stop talking.
No lah, we still killing things. We still killing things. Okay, 40 minutes. It's fine. It's fine.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay.
Just joking.
After the centaur is dead, this will be a break time. So at this point of time, what's gonna happen is that we are actually waiting for the support fate players to get in. So they will kill the Tristitia.
Shark.
Yeah, what?
Actually, everyone outside says they're not joining in, and I'm okay to Miss AV. So if you want, you can just go ahead.
Yeah, man, I need to bio.
Break.
We need to break anyway.
Coffee.
Yeah, we need to go
Oh my
bio
God.
and break anyway. Okay, so Okay, now what's gonna happen? Okay, but since what Dix says, right? So they're not coming in. So we can just wait for Dix if he wants to come back in again anyway. And I'm gonna enforce a short break lah. So maybe 5 minutes. We'll go for 5 minutes. So X48 Okay, by X48, be back here lah. So let's rest for a while. Okay, and then this is our bio break. Okay, if you want to go use the washroom, get a refill on your coffee and tea. Okay, and be back in about 5 minutes. Okay, do note that if you're gonna AFK for slightly longer, don't AFK for more than 10 minutes. At the 10-minute AFK mark, you will get kicked from the instance. Okay, so please be back in about 5+ minutes lah. Okay, and I'll resume explanations in 5 minutes. Okay, so BRB. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Okay, for those who are already back here, we're gonna start on the explanations for the third boss, Absolute Virtue, and the last boss, Osma.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna just start off with okay, there's gonna be a bit of explanations here, so I'll try to keep an eye on the timing. We have about 35 minutes left, and AV is about 7 minutes 30 seconds long for Enrich. Okay, and then Osma itself is 10 minutes 30 seconds long. Okay, now, first things first, okay, for those who are back here, okay, once again, gentle reminder, it's been about 5 minutes since we left for the break. So just be reminded to move around a little bit as I'm explaining things. Yeah, we let Little Lace empty AV lah. It's okay.
Yeah.
Someone
yeah. Okay, I was just
someone
checking.
requested to let them empty. So today we'll just
Okay.
unless they say they cannot, right? We'll
Yeah, that's why I was checking.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so thanks Little
Okay.
Lace for helping out with the main tanks. We always need more main tanks because it's better to have, how do I say this? It's always good to have like more main tank capable players than to have not enough lah. Sometimes in the past we've had like runs. Okay, I'm gonna disagree with you right there. Whoa, there, watch it. No lah, it's okay lah, it's okay. Just for today, I'll close both eyes and allow Popotos to be high quality. But usually they are just high quality culinarian recipes. Okay, so for AB, now okay, once again, gentle reminder, just remember to move around every so often. This explanation is gonna take about like 7 to 10 minutes lah. So you might get auto kicked if you just AFK during this entire time. Okay, for those who want to fall asleep, just try to get some coffee and stay awake lah. Okay, I know some people like to complain, they feel like falling asleep. Okay, now without further ado, okay, welcome to AV and the second half of BA. Okay, hopefully by now it's been about 7 minutes, so hopefully by now everyone should be back already. Okay, so once again, gentle reminder, AFK kick, just remember move around a little bit. Now I'll begin explanations for AV, which is the third boss of BA, and what to expect from here onwards. Now, from this point onwards, we are down to 3 more encounters. Okay, AV, Absolute Virtue, is the third boss. After AV, there'll be 2 trash mobs. Okay, those are nothing special. And Osma, the final boss. Because of this, at this point of time, all DPS players are recommended, okay, highly recommended, to switch out their defensive wisdoms into offensive ones. Okay, so if you are using a plate bearer for the first half of BA, which is fine, at this point of time, this is when you switch it out for an offensive one. Okay, if you've been following our guides or the readme, you will notice that we actually tell players to bring an offensive wisdom for AV onwards. Okay, the reason for this is quite simple. Both AV and Osma have DPS checks. So if we don't have enough DPS, they will enrich and we will wipe. Okay, so we need to push as much DPS as we can to try and meet the DPS checks. Okay, the other thing some people ask, like, but if I have plate bearer, won't it help me stay alive better? Yes, to a certain extent. But for both these 2 bosses, okay, both AV and Osma, if you fail the mechanics, like you don't do the mechanics properly when you're supposed to do it, you just die. The plate bearer doesn't save you. So it really doesn't do very much to help you for the fight. We usually recommend players to at least bring some sort of DPS wisdom. Okay, either Fiend Hunter, Elder, or Duelist, okay, for range, caster, or melees. Okay, or in a pinch, if you didn't make any of these or they're very expensive, you can use Skirmisher as well. Okay, Skirmisher is slightly less potent, okay, slightly less stronger, but it's better than nothing. Okay, but most importantly, okay, if let's say you didn't bring any DPS wisdom, it's fine. Okay, this is a learning run, practice run. It's okay to not bring any DPS wisdoms, but try and stay alive. Okay, try your best to stay alive. Dead DPS, deal no DPS. Okay, so stay alive as much as you can. Having said this, do note that if you go for park runs, parks are not so kind. Okay, if Pucks will usually ask you from this point onwards, they'll ask you in the party chat, wisdom of duelist, wisdom of elder, wisdom of fiend hunter. Do you have it? Please use it. They will prompt you to use your DPS wisdoms. Okay, so please remember to bring some form of DPS wisdom, right, for Puck runs. Okay, the community may not be as kind as practice runs because they don't expect people to come in unprepared. Okay, so please keep this in mind. Okay, as well as your Spirit of the Remembered, if you don't have one on you right now and you have a spare one, please remember to use a new one. Okay, now at this point of time, other actions such as refresh and perception can also be discarded. Okay, we don't need perception anymore. We don't need refresh anymore. From this point onwards, okay, maybe I use one last refresh. Okay, now AV will be wind aspected. Okay, wind aspected. So rotate your mega to the correct element, and while I'm explaining things, it should recharge over time. Okay, now without wasting too much time, a few things to note here. For those who want shell and or protect, usually what happens during the AV fight, just before AV fight and Osma fight, is that there'll be players casting shell and protect, normally at the back. Okay, so if you need it, just assemble at the rear and then get your shell and protect there, say thank you, and then move away from the person casting. Okay, now I'm going to explain for AV mechanics. Now AV mechanics, his main mechanic is called IDOS. Now IDOS, what IDOS does is that it places bracelets around his wrists, okay, and actually a halo above his head, but I normally just look at the bracelets. Now these bracelets will be either a light whitish color or a dark purplish color, okay? And depending on the color of the bracelets, you need to do the mechanics. So for this explanation, let's assume that his bracelets are dark color. His mechanics will manifest in two different ways. The first way is puddles of both colors will appear. Okay, so the dark color and light color puddles will appear in the arena. After a short amount of time, the dangerous color, which is the color on his wrist, okay, his bracelet color, the dangerous color will puddles will expand, and all the puddles will explode. To resolve it, you need to go away from the dangerous color, usually staying next to a safe color puddle. So in this example, move away from the dark puddles towards the light colored puddles. Okay, either at the edge of the arena or in between two of the safe colored puddles. Okay, if you can, you find a safe puddle at the edge and stand next to it, beside the edge of the arena, or find two of the safe colored puddles side by side, stand in between, not in between, but stand beside where the two puddles meet. Okay, this will put you in a safe spot to avoid the expanding puddles. Okay, now, if you are not sure where to go, if you are new, follow the crowd. Okay, most of the experienced players will know where to go. So if you follow them, you will generally be safe. Okay, do note sometimes there might be dangerous patterns where a lot of the puddles will cover most of the arena. In that case, right, try to find a safe spot and note that you can run over the puddle. He can run over the puddle, but you cannot be standing in it when it explodes. So you can quickly run over a puddle to get to a safe spot, but quickly get to a safe spot, and you cannot be standing in any puddle when they explode. Okay, so this is the puddles. Now the next mechanic is impact stream. When what AV does is that he will have bracelets. Okay, again for this explanation, he is dark color, and he will split the arena into two half, light and dark half. If it is dark color bracelets, I will say go to light, go to light. You need to stand in the light half. Okay, and then if you're standing in the safe color, the correct color, you will take a little bit of damage, and you'll be fine. Okay, healers, remember to heal through. There will be some damage that comes in. Okay, but you won't die. If you stand the wrong color, you just outright die. Okay, if you stand the wrong color, you just die. So go to the safe color. I will call this out. Okay, later midway through the fight, AV will disappear from the arena and he will do 3 impact streams, one after another. For that part of the fight, please stack near the center. Healers, remember to heal through and rotate your mega to defensive, because during that part of the fight, AV is invulnerable, untargetable. So there's no DPS. Rotate on defense, pop potions, Eureka potions if you have any, and then just pop some mitigation, stay alive for that part of the fight. Okay, I will call it out later on as well. Okay, so these are the 2 mechanics. Now, the third and most important mechanic is Turbulent Aether. Now, Turbulent Aether, what happens is that there will be some and tethered players. Okay, 8 players will be tethered with an op and tether, and those players need to check the color of their op and tether and run around. Okay, kite the op. If the op touches the player, the op explodes, damaging that player and everybody else standing around them. Now, this is the problem with AV and Osma later on. One player who has the mechanic and doesn't deal with it can kill everybody else. That's why we need to be careful. Okay, now AFK warning, AFK warning. If you have been AFK for more than 7 to 8 minutes, please move around a little bit to prevent kicking. Okay, resuming explanations. Okay, so for Turbulent Aether, if you get a tether, you need to kite the orb. Now, note that once the tethers come out, I will say something like this. Check for Turbulent Aether, check for tether, wait. Okay, and what I'm waiting for is, AV will do Medusa Javelin, which is a large conal AoE. Once the telegraph goes out, avoid the AoE and run to your puddle. Okay, now, those players with the orb and tether, you need to find a puddle of the opposite color and stand in it. So if you have a dark orb and tether, you find a light puddle, stand in the puddle, wait for the orb to touch you, the orb explodes, but the puddle blocks most of the incoming damage. Once that has been done, you have resolved the mechanic, come back to the party for shields and heals. Okay, being careful to avoid other players popping their orbs as well. Okay, I've seen players step in the puddle, the orb pops on them, they are fine, they run past the other player popping their orb, and they die from that orb. Okay, so be very careful about other players popping orbs. Now for everybody else, if you see a player standing in the center with an orb and tether and they are not moving, try to move away from them. Okay, playing defensively, try to avoid other players doing the orb mechanic. Okay, if they don't deal with it, you will take damage and die also. So please avoid those other players. Okay, but we try to stay near the center, let the players run around and do their thing. Okay, and we just focus on the ads or AV. Okay, now, last few things to mention here. AV summons 2 Wyvern ads. Okay, these Wyvern ads, what we do is we usually assign 2 tanks, 1 tank each to tank the ads. Okay, what Kelly is calling the North and South Wyverns. Thanks, Kelly. So Little Lace will be the main tank, Utah is the North tank, and Ballista is the South tank. They will just tank the Wyvern ads. Now, Wyvern ads are a different element. They are thunder aspected, so we need to burn the ads down ASAP. So once the ads appear or ads are up, all the DPS focus on killing the ads first because they will enrage. So burn the ads first. If you have death, you can try to swift cast death. If it sticks, the ads die instantly. Okay, Death L is really helpful for killing ads. If it works, very good. We save a lot of time and we prevent ourselves from letting the ad enrich. Okay, kill the ads, rotate to earth, burn ad, rotate back to ice, burn AV. So there's some mega rotation in this fight. Okay, now, last thing to mention here before we ready check and get started. Now, Little Lace, okay, where's Little Lace? Can you come to the front, please? Little Lace will be our main tank for this fight. So I want everyone to note Little Lace. I'm going to point to them and mark Little Lace with a sign, okay, a cookie, a square, triangle, cross, whatever, up to you. But mark it for your party. Only your party can see this sign. And Little Lace will be the main tank here. Now, every time I say tank buster, avoid the main tank, move away from the main tank. The main tank will be taking AoE tank busters. So if you're standing next to the main tank, when the tank buster goes out, you will die also. You will eat the tank buster and die with. But the tank won't die, obviously. Okay, so avoid the main tank. Do note that it happens during the tether Wyvern phase. So a lot of things happening. Tethers, Medusa Javelin, Wyvern spawn, tank buster. Do your mechanics while paying attention to the main tank as well. Okay, main tank, if you can, Little Lace, if you can actually move away from AV and try and avoid other players as well. Okay, as a main tank, I usually try to move away from other players so that I don't hit them with the tank buster. But if you are forced to hit someone, then so be it, whatever, it's okay. Okay, just try your best to avoid other players. Other players try your best to avoid Little Lace as well. Okay, so that's it for AV explanations. Any pressing matters, please sound off. If not, then we'll do ready checks. Okay, we'll do ready checks at this point of time. All the players who are ready, come to the front beyond the purple line. Okay, come forward beyond the purple line so that we know you're ready. If there's anyone who is not ready for the ready check, please sound off. Please let us know so that we will pause for a bit. Okay, if you miss the fight, you will not get the loot from this fight.
Yep.
Okay, now, other than that, we'll do our last minute checks. So once again, AV is wind expected. Rotate the Mega to the correct element. There'll be some Mega rotation in this fight. All the tanks turn off your stances except the main tank literally turn on your stance and you're on wind element for defense. If by now food would have dropped off, so use food again. Okay, use food again, and we will get started at ET. Okay, I'll yell it out. ET 1520. Okay, ET 1520. We will start. Okay, just focus up, listen to my callouts. Okay, and try your best to stay alive. If you die, spirit procs, remember to use a new spirit of the remembered. Okay, to try and keep yourself alive. Now limit break to 1518. Range or caster. Okay, limit break 11519. Okay, just remember to just fire it off. Just use it, because if you don't, it will be wasted. So it helps to just push in a bit of extra DPS at the very start. Okay, focus up, listen to callouts, stay calm, and if we stay cool, everything will be fine. Okay, now LB2, LB1, and little Ace establish MED. Now the first mechanic will be a raid wide. Now, this first mechanic is away from light, away from light. Now, light puddles will spawn, you want to move away from them. The first time he does it, there's only one color. Subsequent casts will have two colors. Now, come close to AV, come close to AV. He will follow it up with Medusa Javelin. You want to avoid it by coming close to him. Okay, Owen, I saw you get petrified. Okay, we'll try to keep you alive. Okay, now.
Damn it.
Yeah, so for this fight, right, try to stay near the boss. Now, this is go to light. Go to light. Stay on light. See, this is you
Oh,
did.
dear.
Yeah, that's why you don't want to get
Oh,
petrified. If you get unlucky, you will die. But okay, it's okay. You
Oh, be prepped.
yeah, it's okay. Okay, now tank buster on main tank, away from main tank. So just a reminder for this fight, try to stay near the boss because of the impact stream. You need to split. You need to quickly move. Okay, now next mechanic will be two colored puddles. We will be moving away from one of the colors. Okay, away from dark puddles. Away from dark puddles. Okay, usually hugging the light puddles. Okay, just all the way at the back. Okay, away from dark. Away from
Turn
dark.
up the
Yeah,
mood.
nice. Okay, that's quite lucky lah. Safe.
We didn't move.
Yeah, we were already in the safe spot, so it's quite lucky. Okay, another raid wide. Just heal through as necessary. There'll be tethers soon. Okay, op and tethers soon. Now this is turbulent ether. Check for tether. Check for tether. Wait for the javelin. Wait for the javelin and go. Okay, go to your puddles. One person per puddle only. Tank buster on main tank. Tank buster on main tank. Move away from main tank. Okay, once you've popped the op, come back to your the group for shields and heals. More red whites. There'll be two red whites here. Okay, second red white. Now, shortly after this, AV is going to... Wait, no, I think they're ads first. Is it after?
No. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so jump away.
Yeah.
Rotate to win. Rotate to defensive on win. Pop Eureka potions and use shields and mitigations. Remember to heal. There'll be 3 impact streams. Go to light. Go to light. Okay, remember to heal through. Remember to heal through. This is light again. Stay on light. And the last one will be dark. Go to dark. Stay on dark. Now, after this, pop sprint. Run away from the proximity in the middle. Okay, away. And once AV lands, go back into the center. Okay, go back into the center. AV follows up with Medusa Javelin. finally, okay, rotate back to against wind, and finally move away from the main tank. There's gonna be a tank buster. Okay, tank buster. Now, shortly after this, we'll expect to see Wyvern ads soon. Okay, another red white. Okay, now this is Wyvern ads. Wyvern ads. Tanks grab and hold them. Everybody else focus on DPSing the ads. Okay, remember ads are a different element. Check for tether. Check for tether. Wait for the javelin and go. Okay, do those with tether, do your op and tether. Everyone else burn the ads down. Tank buster on main tank. Tank buster on main tank. Move away from main tank. Okay, someone didn't pop.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Let's heal. Let's heal.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Let's recover. Red white incoming. Okay, rotate your mega back to against wind, against AV. Okay, and just stack up for shields and heals. Red white. Now, more puddles away from dark puddle, away from dark puddle. All the way to the back. Sammy, that's not right. Okay. Away from the proximity, but come close to the center. Come close to the center. This is light. Stay close to the center, go to light. Okay, this is why I need to be near the center.
Yeah.
Stay near the center. Again, light. Light once more. Okay, and we should just burn it down after this.
ELE.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Treasure coffer at the front. Now, if there are any deaths at this point of time, normally the healers will deal with it. Okay, I think Sammy's there again in the back. Okay, so just let the healers, let the healers do their thing. We try not to crowd around dead players because it makes it hard for the healer to click on them and to see that they are dead players. Okay, but grab your treasure coffer and we'll proceed onwards to the trash mobs. Now, after this, right, there'll be two trash poles. Okay, there'll be two owl mobs sitting on chairs. These two mobs is for us to build our gauges. Okay, so these two mobs are actually here for us to build your DPS gauge, you know, red mage, black and white mana, okay, the samurai stickers, okay, the ninja, the Bavrakava gauge, so on and so forth, okay, all the different gauges. So just slowly use them to build your gauges. Don't use your burst on them. But they will use a skill called On the Properties of Darkness, which must be interrupted. If it goes off, it will dispel a buff from everybody hit by it, and it can remove your spirit buff, which is nasty. Okay, so just remember to stun the mob later on. As a tank, I will usually try to stun it if I can. Okay, but don't pre-stun. Don't stun early. If you stun it too many times, right, you'll become immune to the stun. Okay, so let's just go ahead and start pulling. Okay, as a tank, usually I will just get ready to stun. And so, okay, that's one. Okay, and we'll just go ahead and pull the other one. Now, after these two mobs are dead, there's gonna be a cutscene and need to settle in. There's gonna be a lot of organization to be done for the last boss, Osma. Yeah. I know, right? It's a killer. Okay. First things first. Okay, all those cutscene watchers, quite a number. It's okay. Now, welcome to Osma. This is the last fight in the Baldesion Arsenal. You need to clear this fight to get your clear. First things first, once the cutscene is over, form a line at the rear. Okay, form a line at the back of this breach. Usually the person casting Shell and Protect will be at the rear, casting it on everyone. Okay, what we usually do for Elemental, okay, and to a certain extent Material is starting to do this as well. We'll just form a line, okay, line up like in real life, get your Shell and Protect, you know, bow or say thank you to the person casting it. In this case is Oz. So thanks Oz for casting Shell and Protect.
Okay, and then just step out of the line to let the next person step forward to get the share and protect. Okay, make it easy. This makes it easier for the person casting share and protect to see who has it and who doesn't. So they don't have to click through everybody to find, oh, this person needs share, this person needs protect. Okay, just make it easier for them. They're helping us by bringing the share and protect already. So thanks very much. Okay, now, to save time, I'm just going to start Osma explanations. This is going to take a while, so just settle in. Once again, gentle reminder, during this explanation time, just remember to move around a little bit. I've had cases where people AFK for 10 minutes and got kicked while they fell asleep to my explanations. So just remember to move around a little bit. Okay, now, welcome to Osma. Osma is the final fight in the Baldesion Arsenal, and you need to be in the Osma arena to get your clear when Osma dies. Okay, so in other words, you need to be in the arena when Osma dies for it to count as a clear. The wording is very specific. If you are dead and Osma dies and you are still there, you clear, even if you are dead. However, every 2 minutes in this fight, Osma will do a move called Black Hole, which will siphon or kick players out of the arena into Hydatos. If you get black hole, okay, or what we call sucked out, because it looks like it's flushing a toilet. So if you get sucked out of the arena, your run is over. Okay, so you need to, now, dead players cannot handle the black hole mechanic. So you need to handle the black hole mechanic to stay in the arena to continue fighting. So you need to try to stay alive as long as you can for this fight. Okay, this is the reason why this fight, we cannot guarantee you to clear. You need to try your best to stay alive as much as you can. Okay, so do listen to callouts for this fight. I will try to explain the dangerous mechanics for this fight quickly so that you can get started. Okay, now, for the new players, once you've gotten your shell and protect, you can come closer to the front. Now, first things first, don't step on the shiny button on the front. If you do that, you'll be propelled onto the Osma arena, and I get a bit nervous when people jump down early, because if they attack Osma, everybody down there will die. Okay, so please stay up here until explanations and organization is done. Now, if you look at the Osma arena, or if you open your mini map, okay, open your mini map and you look at the Osma arena, you'll notice that the Osma arena is a ring with 3 little protuberances on the sides. Okay, east, west, and south has 1 platform each. Okay, 3 rectangle-shaped platforms sticking out of the ring-shaped platform. Osma will attack all 3 platforms at once. So we will need to split our alliance into 3 groups. Okay, 3 main groups: east, west, and south platforms. Okay, so we have 3 main groups with 1 main tank at least on each platform, ideally with 1 or 2 healers keeping the main tanks alive. Okay. Now, important mechanics for the Osma fight. There are 3 things to take note of. 2 of them are very, very important. Okay, so please listen up to the explanations for these 2 mechanics, which I will explain now. Mechanic number 1 is meteors. Meteors appear during the triangle form and the spiked ball, or some people call the star-shaped form of Osma. Each platform will have 2 players marked with a massive, a really big, really huge AoE. You cannot miss it. It's huge. It covers nearly the entire platform. 2 players will be marked with meteor, and these 2 players will need to place the meteors. 1 meteor goes to the right back of the platform. The other meteor goes to the left clockwise position onto the ring-shaped platform. There's a button there. Okay, very carefully, once again, 1 goes to the left, 1 goes to the back. Later on, when we jump down to the platforms, parties will help to place waymarks on your platform to show you where to place the meteors. Okay, and because the waymarks are party specific, only your party can see your waymarks. Use those waymarks if you get the meteors. Okay, so 2 players, these 2 players, 1 will need to go to the back, 1 will need to go to the left. Now, the problem with meteors is that you need to pay attention that you have meteor. If you have meteor, you must do the meteor mechanic. if you don't realize you have meteors or you don't move and place the meteors properly, there's a chance that the meteor mark player will drop the meteor in the center of the platform, killing everybody on that platform. Okay, so meteor players, please handle meteors. Okay, meteors wipe 99.99% of failed BA runs. Okay, normally when we wipe BA, it's always meteor. Most of the time it's meteor. Please handle meteors. Now the problem with meteors is that, again, it is 2 players handling the meteor. I cannot tell who these players are. We can't force Osma to put meteor on me and Kelly so that we can deal with it. It's impossible. It's 2 random players. If not, we always just put the veterans to do the meteors and then we will never have problems. So pay attention. If you have meteor, please go to the back or to the left and place the meteors there and then come back to the party for shields and heals. Now, important thing to note, don't stack the meteors. If one person goes to the back, the other player must go to the left and vice versa. Try to adjust. Okay, we cannot determine who goes where, who goes back behind, who goes to the left. So the player closer to the back goes to the back. The other player who is closer to the left should realize that the other guy is going to the back and you go to the left and vice versa. Try to adjust. Okay, don't stack them. Worst case scenario, if both of you run to the back and you're just like, should I go? Should he go? Should I go? Should he go? Just space yourself apart and place both of them at the back. It will be spicy if that happens, but at least we don't stack the meteors, which will explode the meteor and kill everyone on the platform immediately. Okay, please try to space them out. Try to put them one at the back, one to the left. Adjust if you can. Okay, so this is meteors. Please pay attention to meteors. Try to handle it. Second one, XL bombs. Now, XL bomb mechanic happens during the triangle form of the fight, and what it does is that it will random players will get marked with XL bomb debuff. Now, this XL bomb debuff will actually it's a random timer starting anywhere between 16 to 24 seconds, and you'll count down to 0. As it reaches 5 seconds or less, you will see this dice icon appear above your head. Once it hits 0, it will trigger. Now, if to resolve XL bombs, if you are the XL bomb mark player, you see the dice count down 3, 2. Okay, at 2 or less, you must stop. You need to stop moving, stop casting spells, stop auto attacking, stop doing anything. If you are ranged DPS, deselect Osma. Okay, don't target Osma or sheath your weapon to prevent auto attacks. If you don't do anything at all, the XL bomb will fizzle. It literally doesn't do anything and it will drop off you and you have resolved the mechanic. But if you move, cast, or auto attack, it will detonate. Okay, you explode, shaving away 90% of your health and everyone around you health. So if you mess up the XL bomb, everybody else around you drops to 10% HP. Normally, after XL bomb, the meteor lands, killing everybody. Okay, so please handle XL bombs. If you're XL bomb, stop moving when you see the dice appear. Play safe. Now, if you're not sure if you have XL bomb, but you see it, just stop moving also. Okay, just don't do anything. Okay, just until the XL bomb has exploded. Okay, or not exploded, sorry. It has dropped off. Hopefully it doesn't explode. Okay, so if you can, just try to identify you have XL bomb. Just don't move and let it drop off. Okay, if you have XL bomb and you know it's you can actually move yourself away from the party so the party can move away from you. And then you try to stop moving away from the party. Okay, but if you have meteors and XL bomb, prioritize meteors first. Okay, meteor is the main priority. Sometimes during the triangle form, players will get XL bomb. There will be players with meteor also. You may need to handle both. Please do meteors first. Meteor is priority. Okay, XL bomb, worst case, you drop the meteor on the ring, then you pop the XL bomb, it explodes, killing you. You sacrifice yourself. We all realize that you have killed yourself for the greater good, and we'll put a statue in your name in Hydatos outside later on. Okay, no lah, we'll try to rest you like we can. Okay, we'll see how. Okay, now next. Third thing to note here. Every time Osma changes from any of the forms into a sphere, okay, into a ball form, he does black hole. Now, for black hole, if you look at the platform, there will be one button on the platform itself, one button on the ring-shaped platform to the left in the clockwise position. Okay, once again, always to the left. No one should go to the right. Okay, especially on meteors. If someone goes to the right and you realize the other guy on the right is coming towards you with their meteor, you have nowhere to put the meteor. So always go to the left. Okay, so when black hole occurs, everyone must be on a button. The button on your platform and the button to your left must have players on it. All 6 buttons must have someone on it. If any of the 6 buttons have nobody on it, we all wipe. If you are not on a button, you will wipe. Okay, now black hole will suck you out of the arena. You will end up in hideouts outside. Someone outside will rest you. Okay, now if this happens to you, unfortunately, okay, I'm so sorry, but your run is over. If you get siphoned out, okay, if you get sucked out of from black hole, your run is over. But stay with the party. Your 8-man party who is still fighting inside Osma Arena has access to LB3. If you rage quit and leave, the party still fighting loses their limit break. So please stay with us. Whether we clear or not is irrelevant, but at least stay with the party to give them a fighting chance to use LB3 if needed. Okay, so just take this in mind. Now, dead players, unfortunately, even if you are dead on the button, you cannot do the mechanic. So unfortunately, you need to stay alive for black hole. Now, do note, for these learning runs, we tend to have veteran healers who will use sacrifice midway in the fight. Please be alert. If you suddenly get up, run to a button. Okay, they will try to use it during the black hole, just before black hole. So run to a button ASAP. Don't lose focus and then suddenly you thought you are dead. It's like, okay, GG, I just give up. And then suddenly you get res, then you just stand still like a statue and then you get sucked out. Okay, please don't waste the healer sacrifice. They will die shortly after just to give you a chance to clear. Please stay alert during this fight. Okay, now, last few things before we ready check and jump down. There will be 2 knockbacks in this fight. Shooting star is a knockback pattern coming out from the button in the center of the platform, pushing you to the front, okay, pushing you away from the center. Position yourself to be knocked to the front or to the rear. I will call it out. I'll say get knocked to the front, get knocked to the front, or get knocked to the back, get knocked to the back. Okay, just position yourself. Try not to stand to the sides. Try not to stand on the button in the center, because then you'll get punted in a random direction and then you will very likely fall off. Okay, falling off the platform kills you, so please don't fall off the platform. Okay, the other mechanic is Holy. Now, Holy appears during the square form of Osma, and it's a small little pushback knocking you away from the center of the ring to the outside. Okay, now do note, what I will say is that, okay, get off the platform, stay closer to the front. What I mean is, you need to step off the platform onto the ring-shaped platform, but stay closer to the inner side of the ring, because there's a small little knockback. If you get pushed off the back of the platform, you will fall off and die. Okay, sometimes I'll say go to the rear, but stay closer to the front, or go to the rear. There's a small incoming knockback. So you will go to the back of the platform, but don't go to the very edge of the rear of the platform, because you will get knocked off the platform and you will die. Okay, so just always stay away from the very edge of the rear of the platform to avoid the holy cast entirely. Okay, you will suddenly come out during the square form. I will say knockback incoming. No, just stay slightly closer to the front to prevent getting pushed off the edge of the platform. Okay, so this is for the Osma mechanics. Okay, last few things to mention. Okay, now at this point of time, do ready checks. Okay, we do ready checks so we can get started. Okay, just do ready check and then yell out, who's ready. Kelly, help me just account for all the parties.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
for the black hole mechanic, DPS, range, and casters normally go to the left. Okay, range and caster normally go to the left. Tanks, healers, and melee stay on the platform itself. But if you are new, just go to the nearest button. Okay, if you like stand on the button and then you realize, oh, I'm a bot, I should have gone to the left, and then you start running like 5 seconds after I call for black hole, right? You're gonna get sucked out. Okay, so please just go to the nearest button. Be on a button, any button. I've seen a lot of cases where people stand on the button in the center, pause for a while, and they realize, I should have gone to the left, and they start running, and then the black hole just sucks them out after they start running. So please be on a button, any button. Okay, we will try to get experienced players to go to the left, and we'll try to account for all 6 buttons. Okay, but just be on a button. Okay, all the veterans, range, and casters, help me to cover the left side button. Thank you very much. Okay, and that's it for the explanations. Any questions, please sound out now. Okay, Owen, no, I mute you because your mic was transmitting just now during the explanations. Okay, any questions at this point of time? If you have, just sound off. Okay, if not, then once all the parties are ready, we will carefully start to jump down. Now, the Osma fight is 10 minutes, 30 seconds long, so we need to start before that time, but generally speaking, we should be clear by about 7 to 8 minutes. Okay, so we shouldn't have time issues. Now, once we jump down, 2 things to note. Number 1, don't target Osma. If someone targets Osma and early pulls Osma, it gets really messy very quickly. Okay, Osma immediately hits 3 players with a tank buster, so 3 players die instantly. And then every few seconds he hits another 3 players. Every few seconds he hits another 3 players. Please don't target Osma. Number 2, don't fall off the platform. If you fall off the platform before the fight starts, you will also die. So please take note of this as well. Now, Osma is Thunder expected. There will be no Mega rotation in this fight. So rotate to the correct element. Okay, for the main tanks, okay, Little Lace, myself and Ballista, we will be on Thunder expected. Everybody else should be on Earth to help burn Osma. There's no Mega rotation in this fight. Carefully go to your platforms. Place waymarks. Okay, help to place the waymarks. Now, if your party, you're new and you don't see the waymarks, help to ask for the waymarks. Your party should help to place the waymarks for you. Okay, so help to place the waymarks. Okay, so everyone should have waymarks visible. Use food if your food is running out. Okay, I've been talking for about 10 to 15 minutes now, so your food should have run out. Use a new food. Make sure Spirit of the Member is on. Main tank stance on. Sub-tanks tank stance off. Okay, and we will do one last ready check before we set a pull time to get started. Okay, so ready check once more, now that everyone's down here already in positions. Okay, just one more ready check. And then, okay, you need to yell out also actually. Okay, just ready, just because the guy's not in our VC, cannot hear me talking. Okay, so.
Yeah. I just thought the ready check from the one just previously was good.
No worries. Okay, and then last few things to mention here. Okay, later on. Okay, no, first things first. If this is your first time and the music is making you nervous, you can turn off the BGM. Okay, /BGM space 0 to turn off the background music, or go to your system menu and turn off the music in system configuration. Okay, this is BBD's pro tip number 67. Okay, turn off the BGM if it's making you nervous. Okay, now the other thing here, okay, I'm going to shout a start time on ET time. So we'll be starting at ET 0100. Okay, it's about 1 minute, just nice. Okay, so ET 0100, if you'll be so kind. So usually for Osma we give a slightly longer pull time because there'll be some players using like focus 16. They'll need to charge 16 stacks of focus, double HL extended, they need to use 2 double ages, etc. etc. So we usually give a slightly longer pull time. LB2 at ET 0058, LB1 at 0059. Range caster or melee LB. Now melee LB can be used on Osma because Osma doesn't face aggro, so you can walk up to Osma, but you cannot touch his hitbox. BBD's pro tip number 69. Do not touch the ball. If you touch it, it will immediately aggro onto you and the fight will start killing 3 players at the start. So if you want a melee LB, you can, but wait until it's closer to the pull time, walk close to him until you can reach him, then you press the LB button. Okay, but if you're not sure, don't take the risk. Just let the casters and range do it. It's just safer that way lah. Okay, just so range and caster just fire it off later when I call for LB2. Okay, other than that, okay, first timers, I understand, very nervous. Okay, breathe in, take a deep breath in, breathe out. Okay, like Kelly says, if we stay cool, everything will be fine. Listen to callouts, try our best. Okay, I can't guarantee clears, but we'll try our best to experience the fight. Do our best. Okay, if you die, okay, just stay calm. If you get sucked out, sorry, but just save us until the fight is over. We'll res you later on. Okay, and we'll do our best. Okay, we're gonna start soon. Okay, main tanks get ready. Okay, and hey, you're gonna touch the ball already. You're too close.
No, I'm not touching it.
Okay, LB2, LB2, LB1, and main tanks establish. Okay, now Osma opens up with heavy hitting tank buster like auto attacks on all the 3 main tanks. Main tanks must establish enmity at the start and hold it for this fight. Oh, spicy. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
you're
it's
not
okay.
dead.
No, I will start to. I will self-sustain. Don't worry. Okay, go to the rear. Go to the rear. Everyone to the rear. Now spike ball form. Staying stacked together. Move forwards as a group. Okay, staying stacked together. Move forwards as a group. The spike ball form does a split damage auto attack that must be shared. If you take it by yourself, you die. Now there will be a small. Okay, there will be a shooting star knockback from the center of the platform. Position yourself to be knocked to the front. Okay, position yourself to be knocked to the front. Now, arm's length and surecast also works for the knockbacks in this fight. You can just continue to stay stacked. Yeah, you are just inching closer and closer to the wall earlier.
I wasn't touching it. I wasn't touching it. Yeah.
Don't pull an Evia and just like, early pull.
No.
He's infamous now. Okay, now black hole number 1. Black hole number 1. Everyone to a button. Everyone to a button. All 6 buttons must be accounted for. Okay, just quickly go to a button along. Thank you. Okay, now main tanks will be taking heavy hitting auto attacks once again. Once the animation has gone off, okay, once you see this whirly pattern, you can step off the button, come back for shields and heals. Now there will be shades at the rear of the platform. Go to the rear. Go to the rear of the platform.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, can. Nice. Okay, heal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, this is just for the people who got clipped, it's okay.
Yeah.
Now later on we'll see those shade mechanics, right, with the Osma mechanics. So you expect to have 2 mechanics, one after another. Just be careful for those. Now shades again. Get off the platform, get off the platform. Main tanks get off last. Afterwards, go to the front of the platform, go to the front of the platform. Now main tanks bait line AoEs away from the party and pop ops. Everyone else, stay stacked away from the main tank. Do not hit the main tank with the stack marker. Small incoming knockback, small incoming knockback. Can continue to bait line AoEs away from the party. Okay, if done properly, everyone should be fine. Now the square form is the best form to DPS. This is where you should be popping pots and unload your bursts if you can. Okay, there's no other mechanics here. There will be shades soon, however. Shades at the rear. Staying stacked, get off the platform, get off the platform. Small incoming knockback, stay closer to the front. Okay, and go back in to the platform itself. If anyone dies or falls off the platform, remember to pop another Spirit of the Remembered. Do note that if you fall off the platform, you will respawn on the south platform. Find an opportunity to run back to your platform. Now, black hole number 2. Black hole number 2, everyone to a button. Everyone to a button. All 6 buttons must be accounted for. Once the animation has gone off, you can step off the button. Okay, and go back to the party for shields and heals. Shades at the rear. Stay to the front. Stay to the front of the platform. Main Osma. Get off the platform afterwards. Get off the platform now. Now triangle form. Excel bombs and meteors get ready. Okay, meteors get ready to go to your meteor position. Excel bombs get ready to stop moving when it's counting down. Meteors go, meteors go. Adjust if you can. Okay, very nice. Place the meteors and come back to your party for shields and heals. Okay, bait pain at the rear. And then burn the ads. Okay, the experienced veteran healers are helping us to bait the pain, so thank you very much. Shades at the rear. Get off the platform, get off the platform. XL bomb, stop moving. Okay, and continue to bait pain. Okay, XL bomber, moving, careful. Okay, heal through, heal through. Oh, this will kill you all, just heal. Ooh, nice. Okay, continue to bait pain. Well done. Black hole 3. Everyone to a button, everyone to a button, all 6 buttons must be accounted for. Okay, tanks are taking heavy hitting tank buster like auto attacks once again. Keep the tanks alive. Once the animation has gone off, you can step off the button. Shades at the rear. Stay to the front of the platform, stay to the front of the platform, main Osma. Go to the rear afterwards. Go to the rear now. Now, staying stacked, move forwards together as a group. Spike ball form has a split damage auto attack that must be shared. Now, there will be meteors. Meteors go, meteors go. Try to adjust. Place the meteors and come back to the party for shields and heals. There's going to be a knockback. Wait for the meteors to land, then get knocked to the front. You get knocked to the front now. Can burn adds staying stacked. Okay, heal up, and then stay stacked for the stack marker attack. Burn adds. Okay, all the adds are dead. Very nice. One more. Nice. Shades at the rear. There's a knockback. Getting knocked to the front. Get knocked to the front and stay stacked. Okay, black hole soon. Okay, continue to stay stacked. Be careful. Don't run off too early. Okay. One more. Okay, black hole number 4. Everyone to a button, everyone to a button. All 6 buttons must be accounted for. Home stretch. Now, if you want to LB3 for range and casters, you can do it on the button. Just fire off the LB.
Hi.
Hey,
Okay,
I never
cool.
pressed the LB.
That was pretty
I
good.
never pressed the
Yeah.
missed the chance to use the tank LB. So sad.
Legit, right? Legit.
Okay, congrats, first time clearers. For those who have cleared for the first time, the first thing you need to do is jump off the platform into the toilet bowl. Yeah, just jump off.
Congrats, congrats.
Yeah, I know, right, Sammy?
There was like a couple
I
little,
know, right?
yeah, there was a couple of little moments,
No,
but
trust
everyone
me,
did
Sammy. The
pretty
first
well.
time I did this, right, my hands were shaking so hard, right? It's like I couldn't even do any DPS. I just like focusing on doing the mechanics. Stay alive, stay alive. It's the first time my hands were trembling
Yeah,
so bad. I will always remember that.
he got carried.
But the
He was a black mage and he got carried.
but the first time, like once you clear for the first time, right, the next few times is so much easier. It's like the burden has been lifted. So you should come back for more in future. Yeah, 9 more times, right, Sammy? Sammy does treasure hunts with me quite often. Today's his first time, so congrats. Okay, now
Yes, Semi. Sorry, I didn't even read.
for those who have cleared, we are standing at the south platform. For those who want to take screenshots and SS, so you stand at the south platform, face away from the exit. You can take your screenshots here. Okay, all the taller players stand at the back. All the shorter players at the front, and Popotos become lunch. Yeah, we will.
No.
Yeah, Popotos is lunch.
Oh, don't remind me of food. Now I'm hungry.
Soon. Okay, so other than that, congrats once again for those who have cleared. Okay, I'll just do a quick debrief and wrap up. So thanks once again for everyone for coming. Congrats on the clears. For those who didn't clear, okay, so for those who didn't make it, they left the instance, or they got they died and they got sucked out. Okay, or even people who want to clear more times. Okay, now that you have done it, you have seen it from start to finish, you want to try more BA because it's fun. Okay, not to fret, Elemental's BA community is quite active. There will probably be BA running throughout the entire weekend. So today, tomorrow, okay, then usually weekday nights on evening peak hours, there will usually be BAs being run all the way up to like 6.4 patch release lah. So feel free to join any of the what we call park runs, okay, public runs. But do note that for park runs, we'll be doing the same things that we done here, but everything will be done through the chat, which is why when we do the practice runs, right, we often follow or emulate the park runs, so that whatever you see here is what you will see in the public runs as well. You already know how to deal with park runs. So feel free to join any of the park runs, join them, form a party, or ask for a party. Be prepared, go in with your spirits, your wisdoms, okay, your actions necessary. Okay, and then just have fun, just join them, follow along, aim for more clears. Okay, the clear rate is relatively high on Elemental, so which is very encouraging to see. So feel free to just join more runs. Okay, I myself, I'll host these runs once every month, at least. Okay, and usually it's on the last weekend of the month. So I'll be doing one for March, April, so on and so forth. Okay, for friends who want to join, you can ask them to join the practice runs, or if not, then just bring them into park runs as well. Most people will be very welcome to help carry or at least guide new players through the content. Now, if you have any questions with regards to anything in BA, feel free to ask it on the Discord. Okay, we have a Eureka Lounge channel, which is mostly filled with trash. Okay, to be honest, a lot of BGen chat goes on there. But there's a Eureka questions channel. Okay, you can ask proper questions there. Okay, we usually thread it, and then Nia or myself or any of the VA veterans or addicts, as we call them, will help to answer your questions. So it can be things like, what do I on a main tank? What do I need to know? I want to be a healer. How many sacrifice plates do I need to bring? What's my loadouts, refresh, bravery, etc. Just ask on the Discord. All the veterans in the Discord will help to answer your questions. Okay. Last things here. Now that you have cleared, there's two things you need to do. Okay, other than jumping into the pit, which you should have already done. There's a treasure coffer here which you should have opened. Now this treasure coffer gives you a damascene cloth and cryptic seal. Now the idea is that you want to sell these to your friends. This will actually is what you bought to make the body piece. Okay, the Kirin Osode or the Vermilion Cloak. You want to find friends who haven't done BA, sell it to them, say, okay, hey, I've cleared my BA. I've got this thing. I'll sell it to you for cheap. Then you can use it to buy the body piece, and then you can come join me for the next, future BA runs. Then you get them to clear, and then when they clear, they get their own body piece, right? Their own cloth and seal, and then you get them to sell to their friends as well. And this way we all get rich. Okay, so yes, this is the BA pyramid scheme. Just don't tell everyone. Okay, so just this one is just used to sell for sell on the market, but it sells for relatively good prices. But recently the price has been dropping. But yes, I highly encourage you to ask your friends to come and join us for BA runs. We are always welcoming more new people. Now, last thing here, for new players, first time clearers, later when you exit, don't return or don't just leave the instance. Use the exit teleport at the back of the platform here. There will be another NPC on the other end to finish up your storyline quest. Okay, you need to talk to them. You finish up the story for you, then that will wrap up the Eureka storyline for Eureka itself. Okay, as well as BA. Okay, so that's it from me. Okay, any questions? Once again, go to the Discord and ask. Okay, thanks all the veterans. Okay, thanks Kelly for helping to organize.
No problem.
Thanks Nia for helping us to scout for the instance. Although no thanks to SE for closing the instance on us twice. Delaying the run until like almost 1 o'clock. Velisa has to run off. Velisa quickly go. Bye bye.
I know.
He's going for a
He's
DRS.
got DRS in 15 minutes.
Okay, then thanks for all the veterans for joining us. Okay, there's a lot of like veterans who clear before. They don't actually need more BA clears, but they just come and join us, help to support us, help to answer questions, carry DPS, sacrifice plates and things like that. Okay, thanks very much. Okay, and Little Liz, well done. Good job on main tanking. Do a few more. I hope to see you in more BA as main tank as well. Okay, we always need more main tanks also. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Okay, but I disagree with that Lalafell Master Race line. That's it should be you misspelled it.
No.
Lalafell Master Culinarian Recipe. Yes. Yeah. Master Recipe book. Yeah.
No.
Popotos are food, not friends.
I was gonna say, like, if anybody is thinking along the same lines as Little, you want to practice tanking, you want to practice healing, that type of thing, or you want to practice Dell in any of those things, just ask for someone to do stuff with you so that you can get more confident with it, even if it's during pug runs. Just ask. Usually most people are very happy to help in that area.
Yeah, just do more BA to get more confident in doing BA. It's quite fun. Ask your friends to join you. Okay, like Sammy, you can go ask like Rina, Esther, and the gang just do more BA. They are all BA addicted already. They're gonna do it every day. So just join them Just join them for a few runs every once in a while. For things like advanced things like Indomitable, which I mentioned in the run. Okay, things like what's Del? What's Del? It's actually double HL, but it's a double-edged sword. It will kill you if you're not careful with it. So things like this, which is a bit advanced, I generally don't cover in the learning run because there's too much information to cover. Things like how to do perception, where to percept all this. I also generally don't go into detail. But if you want to learn all these things for future BA runs, just ask in the Discord. And I think like most of these questions have been addressed before, but if you ask it, we'll point you to the answer that's been asked before, for the question that's been asked before, and then you can go and read up the guides there as well. Okay, the pin post has a lot of years of information. Okay, all the addicts, all the experts, all the veterans information has gone into the pin post and the Discord itself. You can go browse through there. Okay, then lastly, thanks also goes out to our JP friends, okay, JP community friends. Okay, do note that for Elemental, we tend to do BA with the pucks, okay, the randoms, the community. Some of them are not English speaking players as well. So we try to accommodate them by using things like auto translation. Okay, then at the same time, we made a lot of friends in the JP community as well. So they also sometimes join our runs, the learning runs, and just to support also, just like the veterans and the addicts. So I also appreciate them. Thanks and appreciation goes out to those players as well. Okay, and all the BA addicts and veterans who have helped to make the run successful. All right, so that's it from me. Thanks for coming for today's session. Enjoy your weekend. Okay, the rest of Saturday. I'm getting hungry now. Kelly's like starving.
Yeah.
She's gonna eat the controller.
I'm gonna eat my keyboard. Okay.
Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
Yeah. Okay, see you guys.
Alright, go have lunch.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you guys in future BA runs. Thank you guys for coming. Congrats once again. And Shark signing off. See ya.